David, like, I'm sure he's around making money, but you just, like, never hear about him. Like, you know.
I see what you mean.
And he was so massive. You just thought, like, oh, he's going to blow up. He wanted his own talk show. I have my own talk show now. Happy Halloween! It's the spooky edition, the last final Halloween costume. Anyways, we'll probably do more costumes. Just Trish. We have our co-host Shark Boy. Is that Taylor Lautner?
Let me do a backflip.
That? Yeah.
Let me do a backflip real quick.
I was ready for it. I love the costume on you.
Me too. We were saying it's like superhero costumes are kind of it. They contour. There's some like shading going on. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, you look great. And you also have like a little like chest piece here that makes you look good. Like we have the built-in muscles on us. Like it's kind of nice.
We're really fit today.
We are very fit. You were like, I could have actually got a medium, and I was like, wow, skinny legend.
That's a little sag. I wasn't expecting it. I was scared about the large. I was like, oh my god.
Were you?
Yeah.
No, you're tiny.
Superhero costumes can be hit or miss, but it's hitting today.
Yeah,
it's
I'm feeling it too. These are just cheap ones that we got like off Amazon, and they're actually kind of a sleigh. And I was kind of like, wow, for $50. Mine's 1X. Shout out to making plus size. I love that they make plus size like sexy costumes now, because I used to always try to squeeze into an XL, and that would never work. So the 1X is very comfy. I have boots that fit my calves today. Ugh, they zip. I think they're from Tord. I'm not really sure, but they're so comfy. I wish my Givenchy boots would have fit me this way. I feel cute. I
love it. It's always a good start when we feel cute. That's what it sets the foundation for a positive episode.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I feel like there's no, like, too much drama, so I feel like our topics are fun and lighthearted today. For the most part.
Yeah. What controversy can we get into that?
I mean, as long as we have one for the thumbnail. We need one good. Because I was looking at mine, I'm like, I don't think this oyster girl is going to be good for the thumbnail. 9 to 5 girl is not going to make the thumbnail, but we'll think of something. Sometimes I remember back in the day, I think Shane told me this. He's like, if you just say like one line in your vlog, like, you know, Justin Timberlake's coming to my house, that can be the title.
Totally.
Yeah. So people would do that. I'm like, I guess we just need that little clickbait moment.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I feel, with us, too, it's like we can either go full clickbait or we can just go so crazy, like with the aliens, like exposing the aliens or dolphins. So people are intrigued. So we really
the dolphin one was a hit. Yeah, that one got like 400,000.
We did expose those dolphins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't love dolphins, but that's a whole other story. You look like a dolphin. No, you're a shark. That's what you are.
Yeah.
When are we getting Taylor Lautner on the podcast?
Honestly, I feel like we can. If we reached out to him at Taylor and Taylor.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god.
Which Taylor did you want?
Any Taylor Lautner that'll come on. They're like, oh, Taylor Lautner's coming, and it's his wife, which is fine. She's a slay.
She seems cool.
She does seem cool. I would love to know how she manifested that from being a Twilight fan to getting with a Twilight star.
Because that's what we've always wanted, like our whole lives growing up, is just to manifest, like, you know, a celebrity boyfriend. She did it, so kudos to her.
She did do it, which is insane. And someone told me this week, actually, I did a magazine shoot again. I did a cover, and it's a physical copy.
Elle magazine.
Vogue. Going to the Met.
Glamour.
But this one was like legit. I'm excited for this one to come out because this one had like a stylist. They had like set design. There was like different sets I was going in. The jewelry I wore was like Balenciaga and Bottega sunglasses. They had a stylist. I didn't ever have to bring one part of my own clothes, and they did I did a whole campaign. They hired hair and makeup, so I had a whole different hair and makeup team, which I'm usually scared of, but they actually like slayed so hard. The set, the lighting, everything, the photographer, like I can't wait till it comes out. It's amazing. But the whole point of that is they were British, and they told me that they recently went to a screening with Robert Pattinson, like a movie he's doing, kind of like a indie, like it's definitely something he's not getting paid a lot for. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, they're like, yeah, we were with him for 2 hours in like the green room or whatever, and we were talking about the interview coming up with Trisha Paytas, and he's like, who's Trisha Paytas? And I'm like, the fact that Robert Pattinson said my name was, that was it. That's the story. And he's like, oh, I don't know her. And I was like, wow, you guys brought me up to Robert Pattinson. Like, you're in a room, and it's like 3 people in this room for 2 hours while the screening's happening, and they bring up about me. I was like, wow. And then they showed him my clips from Celebrity Big Brother, because they're British, so they brought up this clips from Celebrity Big Brother, and he's like, oh, no, I don't know her. Like, you don't watch Celebrity Big Brother then if you don't know this. Because they brought up the New York incident, the David's dead one, and he didn't know that either. So, like, you don't watch.
Oh, my God, Rob. Get with it.
But I love it. You know what's bizarre to me is, like, and this guy who did the interview knows him really well too. The guy who did the interview for the magazine, he's part of this film too, and he's like friends with him. And I'm like, that's bizarre to me that people are just friends with famous people. You know what I mean? Like, he was Batman. He was. I guess because I love celebrities, I couldn't imagine just being like, that's my friend.
Totally. When I was in high school, someone I went to high school with was like genuinely friends with like the Sprouse twins and Miley and Selena. And I was so jealous of him. Like every day of my life at school, because I was a stan of all these little Disney people growing up.
And you grew up here in LA.
Yes, and they would come to school sometimes. I remember Zach and Vanessa during High School Musical came to one of our football games.
What?
Yes, and it was like, I was like full stan mode too. I was like, this is the one football game I got to show up to. Like,
did you go
I was
to it?
so jealous. No.
Okay, you were always cool then. You were always cool.
I lived every single day of my life jealous, like being friends with someone famous. I was like, wow, that is, because I don't know if I would really want to be famous, but like being like next to, you know, I feel like that's safer and more fun. You get all the benefits, but you don't have the pressure.
That's what I always thought too. That's why I always tried to date celebrities, because I was like, that's so cool, because you get to be like, I was chosen to be with them, but I don't need to be that fame. You don't get all the problems of it. I still love the idea of being friends with like just like Taylor Swift, like calling her up, be like, hey, like, you know, I like, not that I'm like a fan, but because I'm not a fan, I think I could be friends with Taylor Swift. Do you know what I mean? I've already talked so much, not crap, but like she obviously is like, okay, I don't like this girl, whatever. But I could see myself being like a friend with someone I'm not necessarily a huge fan of. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, who's another person that like maybe I don't care that much about, but who's massive right now? Like, who's a massive star? And I'm like, oh, I could be friends. Not too young, not Olivia Rodrigo. Trying to think like a big person that don't care about.
Like
but I'm
Jennifer Lawrence.
Totally could be her friend.
I could see Jennifer Lawrence being, because you guys would have similar like sense of humor, I think.
Okay, we watched that movie this week because you told us it was good. Feelings. Awful.
You still didn't like it?
Awful. Oh my God. It was so bad. It's not that she's a bad actor. I think she's very pretty. It was horrible. Like the lead guy, Moses watched it with me. The lead guy was so, like, they're like, I get it. He's supposed to be like nerdy, but they couldn't find someone a little more likable. Like, why did she like him so much? Why did she care about it? Because he was bratty. He was spoiled. He was annoying. Like, he was like so self-centered. I was just like, okay, he couldn't see any of this. Like, I don't know. I wasn't into that movie. I was like and it was predictable. Moses was like, okay, fine. But first of all, Moses over here with the magnifying contraption.
What?
Love the costume you made today.
Just noticed.
Can you see it? I love it. Sorry, I didn't even introduce you. We were getting right into it. Moses is here.
I don't even know who I am.
Yeah, you're George Lopez. Nobody knows the name.
Lopez.
Huh? You're the George Lopez character. I don't know his name. I never saw Shock Boy and Lava Girl.
I'm not George Lopez. He's not the...
I love George Lopez. George Mayan, I would love you on Lopez vs. Lopez.
We love that show.
Yes. Okay.
Can't wait for that to come back.
Yeah, no hard feelings. I would rather watch Lopez versus Lopez.
Some kind of a face behind the big.
I have no idea. I think he's a villain or something. Do you know? Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I saw it when it came out because I was really into Spy Kids, and this was like a Spy Kids
knockoff.
Yes, he was like a robot.
He's a villain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's definitely the villain.
Well,
So
it's the best costume ever because I don't have to wear anything.
I love the contraption you made. It's so
all
cool.
morning I build this contraption.
I love it.
It's really funny because I have like big head and tiny hands.
Ooh, I like it. Tiny hands, like a tiny Beetlejuice. Okay.
But, so anyway, the movie.
Yes.
The movie is like a script of 100 other movies. It's like the same script. It's the same
Predictable.
story.
But that's what was weird to me is like, why are you trying to convince this kid that you actually like him? Like, he's a child. Like, you did this for, like, don't try to like give him false hope that you're his friend. You shouldn't be his friend anyways. Why are you friends with someone who's freshly into college? You're like a 30-something-year-old woman.
The parents paying for her to basically just.
Yeah, it was. I just didn't like the concept. I didn't like the story. I did love Matthew Broderick. God, he's looking like daddy.
Who did he play?
The dad that hired
he was
her.
the dad?
He had like long gray hair. He's also in Only Murders this season. And I'm a Matthew Broderick stan. I love him so much.
He's very Trish coded for Matthew Broderick to be the takeaway of no hard feelings. I
was shook to see him. I love him. Did you ever watch him in The Producers?
No.
You're giving very Producers vibe. Have you seen the movie?
No.
The musical? You never seen it? Or the original with Mel Brooks?
No.
We're trying to get Mel Brooks on the podcast. Someone I know is like, actually, we know two close people close to Mel Brooks and two different people. And I was like, and someone was like, I can get you Mel Brooks.
I know somebody that hangs out with them daily.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, babe, you need to. He does actually. Moses is friends with. I tell you this all the time. He's friends with some two big A-listers, and like obviously, like you don't want to be that person to be like, you want to come on my wife's podcast? Well, I think you should. I do, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. But Mel Brooks is a big one, and then someone else with this magazine. Actually, they know everybody. Someone else that was tied to this magazine was like, oh yeah, I know Mel Brooks. Like he totally would do it. Like he comes on. Do you know Mel Brooks?
No. I'm going along with it, but I'm like, oh.
Wait, what? You've never seen Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, The Producers?
No.
God, I can't believe you haven't seen any of the movies.
I'm just trying to see. I'm like,
Gene Wilder did a bunch of movies with him.
He was in Hotel Transylvania. Oh, he was in Hotel Transylvania.
Oh my God,
with Selena Gomez.
You are like 19 years old. What? You're 30. You should know Mel Brooks.
Oh, he was in Robots with Amanda Bynes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
He's a director. He's so iconic. I would gag for him. He has to be, what is he, like 90 now or something?
Probably.
In his 80s, but they say he's really with it. He was in Only Murders this season.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man. Oh, there's never going to be anyone like him or his movies. And I just like, if someone knows Mel Brooks and wants to connect, because we know 2 people that know him, but just to give a little nudge, just have a little nudge. Actually, we were invited to an event. He's like, Mel Brooks might be there. I'm like, don't dangle Mel Brooks in front of me. I have another friend, his music producer, who always does that. He knows Lance Bass, and he's always like, Lance might be there. And I've gone to so many parties where Lance is not there, and I'm like, I'm not being dangled in front of anymore. But no hard feelings. I could be friends with Jennifer Lawrence though if she wanted to be my friend, because it's not that I don't like her. It's just like I'm not a massive fan, and I think those are the people that celebrities want to be friends with, is people who are genuinely not fans, not the people like I don't even know who you are. I know who you are, girl. I think you're great. You're A-list. I could be her friend though.
I think she likes to be entertained by people too, and you're very entertaining.
Definitely.
So I think she would definitely have fun
really?
with you. Yeah.
We'll go to Kris Jenner's house for dinner because I know she's friends with them. Yeah, she has a vibe. And in this movie, she looks so different. Mose kept saying, "Oh my God, she looks so different." She almost looked like a different person. I don't know if she like lost a bunch of weight or got something with her face, but she looked different.
She looks really good though.
She's
slaying. And
like,
she has a
what's her
mom
age?
too.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How old? How old is her baby?
I think her baby's like, he must be like a year now. Yeah.
And she carried her baby?
Yeah.
I feel like celebrity pregnancies go by, like, I don't even remember people, like
She
Nicki
was
Minaj,
like
I don't
super
remember.
low key. She only made like, she made one like red carpet appearance for a movie that came out, but other than that, she was like very low key about her pregnancy.
Oh.
But yeah, she's a mom. I feel like,
my
yeah,
God,
you guys
I
are definitely
love
vibe. Yeah.
Oh, I love mom friends in general because I'm like, I just need more. We need Malibu to have kids. We're friends, and we're like, how do we meet people? I guess we go to like gym classes and stuff like that. Is it a girl or boy?
I forget. Let me look it up. I think it's.
Oh my
I want to say it's
gosh.
a boy.
Jennifer Lawrence. Oh God, we have so many little boyfriends for her, and I'm just like, we need some girlfriends because she has all little boys. The Malibu Barbie theme birthday was just all boys, which by the way, boys lived for Barbie. All the boys were getting Barbie convertibles, Barbie watches, and they were living for it, and they were playing with Barbies. And I love this era, 2023, gender neutral, everything. You go glowing. You look like you have ocean on your face.
Kind of, yeah. I like it. I might adopt it as a...
Your full-time filter. Love it.
Yeah, she has a son, and his name is Sai.
I think I know another Psy. Yes,
How do you
there's
spell
another.
that?
Oh.
C-Y.
Interesting.
I
like
mean,
it.
that must be good. Like when you're in school and you have to write out your name. Like,
CY.
yeah, that's so easy.
It almost seems like it'd be short for something, but I kind of live for that. Do you have baby names?
My baby name, because I loved Leighton Meester as Blair Waldorf and Gossip Girl. So growing up, I always wanted a girl named Leighton. But then ironically, my brother, when he had a son, named him Leighton after like a football player.
What?
Which like, yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
So now I have to go back to the drawing board.
So name them Blair.
It just reminds me too much of Juicy Star. So I think that.
I think Juicy Star got the name from
Gossip Girl,
because her name's not really Blair.
And then her sister
Elle from Elle Woods. Yeah, which I related to more. Yeah, I love that. Elle and Blair. And I think they still go by those names.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know.
That's a slay.
Slay all day.
Yeah.
I think Blair was supposed to come on and then something happened, but I think she wants to reschedule. So Blair, we'd love to
That'd
have
be a
you
fun
on.
one.
Yeah. Oh God, it'd be great. I just love blasts from the past. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nostalgia YouTubers. I just think it's, especially because I think she doesn't do YouTube anymore. And I always think that's like interesting too when you like talk to people who don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and I've gone on to just have like regular like careers and stuff. It is really interesting.
Honestly, that's a slay because it is a lot. Like, yeah, I think about social media. I love it, but I'm also like, I think about myself. Am I doing this in 20 years? I'm like, maybe. Because it's like, but what else would I do? I don't have a backup plan, but it is one of those weird things. Like you have a regular job, but it's creative. So
Yeah, but I mean, you'll end up on TV. So
oh my God, I was just thinking about that when I did the shoot. I was like, I would love to have a stylist every day style me because I'm really bad at styling myself, but she made me look so good. I was in high fashion. I was in heels. I was in jewelry. I was like, and then I was watching Wendy, the clips on TikTok, and I was like, gosh, she probably has a stylist styling her every day.
Yeah.
That's why I want a TV show. I want a billboard and I want a stylist. And you there too. You'd be my Norman. I just think that would be just such fun. Like an hour a day, just go in. Everything's prepped and ready. We have an
audience is
editor, so you
there.
don't have to worry about it. Poor Oscar editing out. What does he say? The mouth clicks up.
Oh yeah.
The tongue
But
pops.
I watched some YouTube tutorials. We got the filters
Okay.
now.
We also
Yeah.
don't have to do that. Anyways, that's that's a side note.
yeah,
but
yeah.
if it's too much for you, because I was like, wait, what? I'm like, I felt bad because I'm like, you don't have to be. Anyways, I know you're a perfectionist, but I feel bad because I'm always
No,
like,
don't feel
where's
bad.
the? Anyways.
Don't feel bad.
I never yell at you. I just love you so much.
I'm a perfectionist and really hard on
Yeah.
myself. Anyone can tell me, oh, it's fine, but if it's not up to like my own standards, I'll freak out over it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I just, no matter what, I don't know. It just drives me crazy. I'd rather like not sleep and get something done than like half-ass
That's
something.
crazy.
I'm not like a half-asser at all.
Okay, well with us, you can half-ass.
No,
I literally was just
no.
like, leave half of it just unedited. I was just saying, we can leave this in because I just want to tell. Like, we will go like 3.5 hours, and the last episode was 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm like, wait, we had such good conversation. And you said you ran out of time. You're like, well, I was editing mouth clicks. And so I was like, just keep the 3 hours. Nobody's going to care about mouth clicks. I tell you that. My people, they know. They're happy to have a B-roll in there. They're like, wow, there's a photo next to you. That's great. And they really, the standard's already there. You can take it down a notch.
This used to be an ASMR channel, so they're here for the mouth clicks.
Now I'm just going to go.
Oh my God.
People like it. Can you hear?
Torture him now.
No, I know. No, you don't have to edit them. They're great. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. Because it's almost like just because I'm so not a perfectionist, I'm just like, oh, to me, it's like, whatever, is it called B-roll where you edit the photos? And that to me is editing. That's done. Like, you don't have to do anything else. That's it. And that's why I was like, wait, what? And then when I was like realizing how like meticulous you are, I was like, wow, you're really, we love it. The church people appreciate it. But we can make it easier on you.
That's so funny.
But today we're booked and busy. You have a pumpkin patch you got to go to. And that's exciting.
I know. I'm trying to get into the Halloween festivities and the horror nights this week as well. Yeah.
Sorry, I just like screamed in the microphone.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I have a filter now that'll adjust that when you scream it. I really researched.
Great. You guys, we have one of my favorite sponsors today, and that is More Labs. More Labs Morning Recovery. You guys know I absolutely love this stuff. And in honor of Halloween, okay, if you're going out to that Halloween party and you're drinking, but Halloween falls on a Tuesday and you got to get up Wednesday morning, Morning Recovery is for you. You take this bottle while you're drinking or right before you go to bed, and you wake up like it never even happened. That's the magic of the Morning Recovery drink. I know for me, if I just go out for like my birthday and have like a couple glasses of champagne, I will feel the next day my head will hurt. I won't be able to function. Morning Recovery takes care of all that just by being like nothing even happened. As you get older, I'm in my 30s, 35. You just don't get to drink like you used to. You know what I mean? Even having that one drink or a shot or something. Shots. Okay. You know, if you have that shot at 35, Morning Recovery is for you. The next day, you're going to feel like brand new. So shout out More Labs for sponsoring this video. Morning Recovery has been tried and true. We absolutely love it here. So if you're going to go party hardy and want to still be refreshed and professional the next day, get Morning Recovery. What is it? Okay, More Labs created this nifty lifesaver of a drink called Morning Recovery that helps prevent rough mornings after drinking. Similar drinks have existed in Korea for a long time, but there were no options like it in the US that actually worked. So their founder quit his job at Tesla to fix and create Morning Recovery. When do you take Morning Recovery? All you have to do is drink one Morning Recovery while you drink or before you go to bed. It works like this. It contains super herbs, vitamins, and minerals that help you bounce back, and a proprietary blend of electrolytes to rehydrate you. So you can have fun at night and feel good the next day, just like you did when you were 21. They conducted a clinical study, and users of Morning Recovery felt up to 80% better than those without Morning Recovery across various symptoms of drinking. This product is amazing. It makes me feel like a Cuban again after drinking. The last time I had a crazy night was my birthday, and I woke up that week ready to work and hustling. Morning Recovery is amazing. More Labs, miracle in a bottle right here. So go to morelabs.com and use code TRISH for 25% off your first order of Morning Recovery. That's morelabs.com and use code TRISH for 25% off your first order of Morning Recovery.
You had some misinformation last week because I went to go find the Weekend Maze. It was not there this year.
Oh, good. We would literally contemplate, like, how are we going to get there?
I'm so glad you didn't go because you would have died.
Oh, that's it. Fired. I'm firing the person who told me. Oh my God. Really? What was there?
Yeah. So there was The Last of Us. They had a fake Pedro. It was like very much like we have Pedro Pascal at home, to quote you.
Was he cute?
He was cute, but it was like not anywhere near like Pedro Pascal, you know?
Yeah.
But I get it. You know, you get to find an actor who like you can kind of put in the beard and make it work.
Do you think he's hot?
Pedro Pascal? Yeah, for sure.
I know.
What? It's one of those where it's like his personality makes him really, really hot because he's so like charismatic and like in interviews and stuff, just like very fun and like lighthearted and like doesn't take stuff too seriously. So
that's
that
how
really
I felt
sells
watching
it.
like Bad Bunny on SNL. I was like, okay, I can see his like swag now.
Yeah.
But he was on SNL with him, and I was like, nah, I still don't get it.
But you have to see him like in his element, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
bring him on podcast.
So
I can see him on here.
But the scariest thing
is Megan. Because is Megan different than the Stranger Things? Megan's not in Stranger Things. Because I saw them. Did you see them dancing?
Yes, that was the number one thing on my list of things to see.
Was it
Megan
crazy?
dancing. It was short though. It was really short, but it was slay. But also I was like, is this problematic? Because they all were just like little blonde white girls, and I was like, maybe Megan too. We have some diversity.
Diversity, yes. Yeah. We love to see that. The Notebook on Broadway casted 3 different ages of Allie and whoever the other guy is. Allie and who's the other person? And Ryan Gosling's kid.
Yeah.
Then they casted. It was blind race casting. So it was like basically like the young Allie and whatever his name is, they were like two different races, and then they switched races. So like it wasn't like, you know, like if there was like a white person in each role, they would switch. So like the guy at the end of it was like African American, maybe he was like Asian and one, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought that was so great because like a universal like love story should be like universally told. And I feel like that with anything. I feel like cosplays, anything like that. I feel like people should just be able to, especially Megan, like a creepy little doll.
Yeah.
We all want to be a creepy little
like
doll,
Barbies
you know.
in every color. So
yeah, love that. The new holiday Barbies too. They really do like every hair color, red and brunette, and a tanner skin and a darker complexion. And I love that.
Yeah,
it's great. I know. I always go back and forth between getting Malibu like a brunette Barbie and a blonde Barbie because like to me, I grew up with blonde Barbie, but I'm like, oh, she'll probably be brunette because I'm brunette and Mo's a brunette. Anyways, it's a whole thing. Okay. Scariest thing.
A Vlog Squad sighting.
No!
That was the scariest thing. I think I was not expecting it at all.
You texted me. You're like, saw the Vlog Squad.
I literally was like, because we were ironically also like in an area where it was like the scare actors were around too. So
Jump
all
scare.
of a sudden I was like, I'm walking. I'm like, wait, that looks like Scotty's girlfriend. And then I look up.
Oh,
and
you
then
recognized her first.
Yeah, I saw her first.
Slame.
And then I made eye contact with Scotty, and I was like, oh God. And then I turn around, and there is he who must not be named.
Oh.
Snapchatting, like flash on, like laughing, and I'm like, oh my God. I grab my boyfriend. I'm like, we gotta go.
Not Snapchatting with a flash on at horror nights. Don't they tell you like don't put your flash on like with the scare things? It takes away the. Oh my gosh.
I was gagged. I'm like, my boyfriend thought I was scared of like the little birds running around. Yeah, and then I finally once we got out, I was like, it was the Vlog Squad. And then,
wait, but it was just those two.
No, it was Todd. It was more of them. Maybe David.
But it was
know.
like the main. Okay, David wasn't there. David's the Vlog Squad to me.
I think David was there, but I'm not. The only ones I saw for sure were Toddy, Scotty, and Jason.
It's like the B team.
David I wouldn't really care about, but Jason was like, that was the jump scare. Scotty, I was like, listen, I'm a gay boy at the end of the day. Scotty is a hot guy. Like
I was
like, oh,
no, don't turn.
He is just so cute.
Why does he get away with everything? Everyone thinks he's. I mean, look, he's good looking because he's good looking. You get away with everything. That is society in a nutshell.
Oh my
You're
God,
good looking.
I can only do so much. Scotty is a very attractive man. I was
really?
like, oh my God,
like, what would you rate him?
Maybe like an 8.
Oh, I thought you would say 10 out of 10 the way you talked about him.
Oh no, 10 is like, I don't know. It's kind of.
Who's 10?
You're not gonna Matthew. Do you know Matthew Nazca? I would say he's like a 10.
Oh,
he's
that model.
Yeah, he was in also No Hard Feelings, but
which one?
He played the guy she hooked up with, like
at the end.
Yeah.
I remember that guy. I don't know. To me, they're very just like, I don't know, the people I grew up with. They look like that kind of guy. I don't think they're like, I don't know, cute. I don't know.
Like
maybe
Scotty?
Scotty definitely reminds me of people in my hometown.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why to me he's just like good looking. Like it's definitely good looking.
Oh,
but
yeah, it's like a guy you'd find in the Midwest. Or
that's what I'm
something.
saying. It's a very boy. I guess that's the appeal boy next door.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a cute boy. But that was probably the scariest thing I encountered at Horror Nights.
Do you think they recognize? Do you think they recognize you?
I don't know. I don't think
they watched
so.
Just Trish.
I'm sure they must have seen something.
Oh, definitely. I definitely saw Scotty. Oh my God, we just go back and forth. I definitely saw him somewhere talk about like he didn't say my name. He's like, someone said I made 1.5 million, but I only made 1.1 million selling my catalog. Watching Just Trish. I mean, it's fine. Like, I always see my clips of my, like, when people talk about me on TikTok. Like, I try to scroll past it. There's all these accounts like Bleach and Tone and stuff like that like clip every single podcast ever made. And if someone says something about me, so I try not to watch it when I see something like that. I try to scroll past. But then there's sometimes where you see your name like hashtag down there and you're just like, curious. What did they say? Yeah. But especially with them, I don't know. To me, it's like so long ago. Like it's almost like people I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I see them or like it doesn't register. I don't know. It's. But you texted me and like Moses' first thing was just like all of them. Like what's the Vlog Squad? I was like I don't know. And like it's just Scotty. It's not really the Vlog Squad, but I love that you call them that. I love that you still reference them as the Vlog Squad.
Vlog Squad alums. Like what else to do? The former.
Is the Vlog Squad dead?
Or I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
They just don't talk. I guess they just don't want. Maybe they made a ton of money. I feel like a lot of them like they have like drinks and stuff. Like the happy hour is theirs.
Some of them are doing podcasts too. Like. So I don't know.
Zayn and Heath kind of get a lot of views on their podcast.
Yeah, so everyone's gonna do
amazing.
Thing, I guess.
Zayn and Heath are on. Oh my God, not to dock shit or anything like that. One of my favorite podcasts actually, which is pretty basic. I love Remy and Alicia, and Remy actually tagged me in TikTok the other day, which is surprising because like to me those girls, they were always like just how do I just say it? Like they're definitely younger than me, so they were like a generation behind, but they just always seem. We're like put together. I think Remy was in a sorority. Alicia was very just like clean, wholesome. So to me, I was like, those girls would never even think about watching me, anything like that. So anyways, when she tagged me, I was like, okay. So I love Pretty Basic. I watched the podcast. I love their set. I love everything. And they had Zayn and Heath on. So I was like, oh, let me just like click on it. They didn't just have Zayn and Heath, they had the whole Unfiltered podcast. So you know how like it would be like you, me, and Moses going to do a podcast. There was 4 people from Zayn and Heath. It was Zayn, Heath, Matt King, and Mariah. All 4 of them with the 2 pretty basic girls. So it's a couch of like 6 people. And I was like, you guys know I always talk about this. This is my worst nightmare, having 6 microphones and people just talking all the time. Like it's so chaotic to me. And like they did well, they get views or whatever. So it's like not anything, but it's wild to me. Like I couldn't imagine going on, like who's another podcast that has like 2 or 3 people, like going on Meghan Trainor, who has like Meghan, her brother, and Daryl now. And then all of us going to do it too. I'm like, how are you going to fit that in 45 minutes? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, we can talk like for 45 minutes. It's the most bizarre thing. But yeah, I guess a lot of people do podcasts, which is crazy. And people get good views. There's so many random podcasts that get like a ton of views. Like I've had Girls Always pop up and they get so many views. We showed them last night to my mom and we were trying to explain them to her. And my sister loves them. My mom didn't get them and I'm with my mom on that. I'm like, everything we saw, I was like, God, they're just so negative. Oh, no. But anyways, shout out to everyone with a podcast, including us. It's amazing. It is amazing the like, what is it called? Like rebrand, resurgence of, because we go out in public and like we went to Santa Monica. We never go out in public, but we went to Santa Monica like 2 days ago and like everyone, the waitress, where else were we? It was like the server and somewhere else. Someone's like, I just watched the Just Trish podcast. And I was like, wow. And it was a bougie restaurant in Santa Monica. Shout out Elefante. Yeah, they were seating us and they're like, yeah, I just finished watching Just Trish. Where's the other one at?
The clothing store. We were All Saints.
All Saints.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, the sales girl was like, just finished watching Just Trish. She shot me too. I just finished watching a Just Trish episode. I was okay. Yes, podcasts are making the comeback, and we love to see it. Would you ever do a spin-off podcast of yourself? Like, are you gonna like in your pink gamer chair or something?
Maybe if like if you had like if you did like an Alex and you did like Just Trish like media or something, and I was like under your branch, maybe. But it would have to be short. 'Cause I don't know if I would have that much to say by myself. It's kind of like as you were like you were saying, it's hard just to like sit there and like
I couldn't
bounce off yourself. You know?
No, it's very hard. As much as I love talking and I love talking about myself, like it's just hard with especially without getting like a reaction or something like that. It's very hard. We thought about doing that actually. Someone else was like, oh, if you had a place, because we have like this whole room, we could build like 3 podcast sets. I'm like, maybe we will. Maybe we'll do a little Unwell branch off. I mean, that could be a vibe for sure. Taylor Lautner, Robert Pattinson. It's a whole Twilight extravaganza. Oh, wait, anything else about Halloween Horror Nights?
I just kind of like lost my voice, so if I'm a little raspy today, I was partially really scared, but also I'm like, this is so camp that like I really just want to like let the actors know I'm having fun.
Okay, yeah,
so I really got into it.
You should give those things. I think my sister was telling me at Not Scary Barn, they have like a necklace, like a no boo. Yeah. So you don't get scared. And I'm like, okay, but like that's the whole point of going. And I think people who ruin it. Was it you that was telling me that, like, you tell them, like, I know what you're doing? No.
It's like, I do. Okay, I was guilty of that a little bit. But it's like, it's not like I'm having a conversation. I'm just, like, jump out, and it's like, some of it was really aggressive. Like, the costumes were just, like, really aggressive and then, like, very in your face. And it's like, okay, I see it. And I'm like, I know. And then I keep it moving. I'm not like, But also, I think you would probably have, like, the same... You would definitely say something to them. I think if you were in my shoes.
I think I would close my eyes. I would like close my eyes and scream
and hide behind me. And...
We really contemplated going. I'm like, how are we gonna get in? And then someone else, was it you or someone else was telling us there's now designated areas so they can't scare you. Yeah. Oh my God. I see you so much. I'm like, wait, was it you or someone else telling me?
Be scared. In those areas.
The entrance they like force you to go through, and some of them are like very dedicated to their craft. Some of the scare actors, so like they will like, especially once you get a reaction, they'll keep at it. I will say though, I think I'm too old because like my body was hurting.
Really?
My neck, my back. It was rough. Really? I'm like, oh my God. On a Wednesday night, it was
30. I think that's the magic turning point where things start aching.
How did Jason do it at like what 65? I don't know. Like. My God,
it's
that was rough.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I know it is crazy when I see like in general, like even us, well, I mean 40s, 30s, like it's just like, I'm sorry, 30. It's just like crazy. Like I'm like, God, what were we doing the other day? And I was like, how do people do this? What were we doing? Did we go out late or something?
We went on a date late night.
We went on a date. That's what it was. It was a date at nighttime. And I was like, wow, look at all these people. It was only 6:30, but it felt like 8:30 because it was pitch black. We were at Mastro's. And I was like, look at all these people just walking in. Like, it's insane to me. I was like, wow, why are people out at night? It's just all
wild. I was supposed to see a movie at like 10 p.m. last night. I fell asleep at 9. And it was like over. Yeah.
Wait, did you go to the movie and fall asleep?
Didn't even make it to the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Even booking, I was like, this is kind of bold of me to do like a 10 p.m. movie.
10 p.m.'s too late. Because we were talking about going to a movie. We're gonna go see the Elvis one. It comes out November 3rd. Priscilla. And I've seen clips of it. Jacob Elordi's been doing the rounds. By the way, I'm kind of changing my mind on Jacob Elordi now. I kind of like him in interviews.
See?
He did one with Hoda. Did you watch that one?
No, I saw him on Jimmy.
Oh, wait, which one did you see him on?
Kimmel or one of the Jimmys.
There was a couple. There's another one where he was zooming and you could see his parents in the background of the mirror. Did you see that?
No.
And they're like, who's in the reflection? He's like, oh, can you see them? And his parents like on the bed as he's doing the zoom. I don't know. He has a little bit of charm to him. I kind of like, I don't know. The clips I've seen are a little cringy. This one I saw of Priscilla was him like going back to Hollywood. And as soon as he left Priscilla, he's like, don't worry about it, baby. I'll be right back. And then when he's left, she's like, all right, boys, Viva Las Vegas. I'm like, I don't think Elvis just like randomly said that. You know what I mean? Because it's a song. So I think it could be a little cringe. But I'm excited. I love Sofia Coppola. We talked about Lost in Translation. I love that. She was supposed to host Twilight.
Yes.
Direct Twilight.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to do a Twilight segue because there's a lot of Twilight news this week.
Yes, there is. Oh, I did.
Okay.
I said yes.
Yes. Okay. Twilight. By the way, became a Twilight stan 2 years ago. Love Twilight. And we had planned our wedding. Our wedding was like a month away after I found Twilight, and I was gonna like rechange everything to do a Twilight wedding, like in the forest and like with the flowers hanging down.
That would have been everything.
That's such a cool wedding concept. I love when people do that outside forest. I wish we would have done that instead. Love Twilight. Stan Twilight. Sofia Coppola said she was supposed to direct the last one, I think.
Yeah, Breaking Dawn.
Breaking Dawn. Is there 2 parts?
2 parts.
Okay,
I forget which one she said. I think 1 or 2. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. The one with the imprinting, because she's like, the imprinting is, she's like, it's too weird for me.
Yeah.
Was it in the book? I didn't read the books.
Yes, it was.
It was in the book. What is the point of this? Why is it? Why was that? Why?
I think it was because to kind of make people happy, like, oh, if Jacob couldn't be with Bella, then Jacob would be with Bella's daughter. So it's kind of, you know.
So he was in love with Bella because she always harbored Renesmee in her.
That part, I don't know if that part was explained, if all because she was going to be pregnant with her.
But he was like, as soon as she was born, he had no more attraction to Bella.
Yeah.
So that's because she gave out what he was supposed to be.
I never got that far into it. Maybe deep in the lore, perhaps. But
okay.
I mean, still, it was all very, very weird. But in the moment, like, I remember reading it and just being like, oh, I'm so romantic. But then watching it back, I'm like, oh.
No.
What is going on? This is weird.
If someone that had a crush on me was like, well, I'll date Malibu, I'd be like, hell no, you won't. Like, what? And they're vampires. They should be able to take them down. That's what I never understood. I know we're like werewolf versus vampires, but the vampires should always take out the werewolves. Like, how would that even be a competition? You know what I mean? Like, I guess the vampires are faster. The vampires are like lethal because they have the teeth. Like, they can't die. The werewolves can.
I think the werewolves, if they're like pack hunters, so I think if they got one alone, they could take like, you know, a group versus one. But I think if it was like the whole squad of Cullens, I don't think they could win, you know?
Yeah. Because at the end of the movie, they were just all chilling by the lake together. It was like Renesmee and Taylor Lautner and Robert Pattinson. They were all just like chilling. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I love the memes of Bella when she's like super skinny, when she's like about to give birth. She's like, so like this or whatever. And then everyone like me after like not eating dinner. And I was like, yeah, I thought she lost that much weight. When I first saw the movie, I was like, wow, she lost so much weight. But it was all CGI, which is wild to me.
She was like deathly skinny.
I know. Well, I was like, well, maybe she really went for the craft. Like someone did that. Who was it? Christian Bale or something got really skinny.
For Twilight. She was like, let me.
She's really dedicated to herself. But if Sofia Coppola would have directed Twilight, the last one, I think it would have been. So who directed those? Anybody famous or nobody?
I don't know if it was anyone famous.
I just think it would have been such a different take because the way she directs things, I don't know. Hopefully it was a female director. I just like the way females direct. I feel like they get more in tune with the female characters.
It was a guy, Bill Condon.
Of course. That's why they see, and if she would have taken the imprinting out, the movie would have been better because most of us didn't read the books. I sure didn't, and I feel like if that wasn't in there, it wouldn't have been weird. You know what I mean? And it was weird. And then you look at everyone different. You look at Taylor Lautner different, even though he's an actor. Like when I see a creepy actor in a movie, I'm like, oh, like Stanley Tucci in Lovely Bones. I always think of him as creepy now. I'm just like, ugh. I see him on TikTok making his pasta, and I was like, you're ick.
No, you can't say that because he's gonna be on the podcast.
Stanley Tucci?
Oh, I thought you meant Taylor Lautner.
Oh, no. Taylor Lautner is fine. But I mean, Taylor Lautner, I got over the imprinting thing. I was like, okay, it's an actor. Stanley Tucci, though, I love him on the podcast too. Was he in No Hard Feelings? No,
he was in Easy A, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Hunger Games.
And Hunger Games, yes.
With Jennifer Lawrence, yes. He's in everything.
Yeah, he's booked.
Yeah,
he's
booked and
booked.
busy. Does it bother you? Did we talk about this when straight actors play gay roles?
We did a little bit. I don't know if it really. I think I would prefer if it was like a gay actor. I think, but it doesn't like take me out of it for the most part. I think, but I think it as like a society and like culturally, like if you're playing a person of color or if it's like a gay character, that it should at least be first like reach out to like, you know, gay actors.
Because Stanley Tucci plays gay in a lot. He's Devil Wears Prada was gay, Burlesque was gay. There was a movie with J-Lo called Shall We Dance.
I thought he was gay for a long time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he
He's convincing. Yeah.
Okay. So you did a good job acting then, because he's subtle gay, which I like in things. He plays the gay role, but he's not like the over the top,
like super
Birdcage,
yeah.
which I love Birdcage. But I'm just saying, like in general, I think he does the subtle gay pretty well. And he's not the beautiful gay, he's the balding one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love him though. I love a Stanley Tucci, but the Lovely Bones icked me out. But other Twilight news: Josh Peck. Speaking of Vlog Squad, is he in the Vlog Squad? I think he's considered Vlog Squad.
Vlog Squad adjacent, I think.
I also think he just like clings on to anything. I mean, like in a good way. Like he stayed relevant. He's an Oppenheimer. But he has a podcast too. So many podcasts. There are so many podcasts. And he said, who was on his?
Was it Taylor Lautner? I thought it was Taylor Lautner.
Oh.
I really think so.
Oh wow, really?
Let me double check.
That kind of sounds right, but that's kind of wild. If Taylor Lautner comes on, I'm gonna say I auditioned for Bella.
Yeah, Taylor Lautner.
No way. That's wild. Taylor Lautner's right there. He's like, so I auditioned for Robert Pattinson's character. What's his name? Edward. So supposedly it was down to him and 2 other people for Edward.
Yeah.
And he said this is, in Josh's words, pre-tummy tuck. So, which is like, wow. Was Edward shirtless? Why don't I remember him shirtless?
He was shirtless.
And for like a second.
And New Moon, it was like the big, because he like took off his clothes and he was shirtless and then it was sparkling.
Love
sparkling,
that.
Yeah.
That's fab. But that would have been wild. Do you think? I guess it's true. Why would he make that up? First of all, my first thought is like, you're lying. Like,
see, I don't know. I mean, the whole Twilight saga was wild. Like there was wild casting choices, wild CGI, wild plots.
Right.
So it really didn't I wasn't like that gooped and gagged over it because I'm like, just a lot of out of pocket things were going on. So I don't know. I wasn't that shocked. I guess I feel bad though because like a lot of people like this is
not true.
Yeah, like or not even that, just like saying like he wouldn't be hot enough to play.
Oh.
I'm like don't be mean about it, like don't body shame him or whatever. But
yeah. Well, it's not even that. He's very skinny. He loves to be skinny too.
Yeah.
He's very into. I saw an interview where he like had his legs crossed like this, and someone talked about the deep cross that he can do. I think he's probably talking to a fat person or something. I don't know. I'm a fat person. I can't cross my legs, but he was very much like showing off that he can cross his legs. And he's like, yes, I have a deep cross. And I was like, okay. So he loves being skinny, and he is skinny. And like whatever, but it is, yeah, people can be mean, but that's why you can't say stuff like that. That would be like me being like, like, I don't know, I auditioned to be like Pamela Anderson or something like that. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, people would be like, yeah, right, Trish or something. But maybe they would have gone a different direction. Like maybe they wanted someone, I don't know. Again, I didn't read the books. To me, when I first saw Twilight, I didn't think of Edward as like hot. Like I didn't think he was supposed to be this hot man.
Oh.
To me, I thought he was supposed to be like relatable, like the guy from No Hard Feelings or something. So I was like, okay, I can see Josh Peck being that.
Oh.
Like, right? He wasn't like hot. He wasn't muscular. He was thin. He was kind of pale, emo.
Like vampires, I think of that kind of like sculptural, like cheekbone, like chiseled kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's a little bit of a different casting choice. Because again, it's like there's certain faces, like my face too. It's like I could lose weight and like Josh is very skinny, but they just don't have those features, which is not bad. Mine are the same way. Like you don't have those features when you lose weight. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's kind of a flex though if you made it that far. Although it does suck. It does suck as an actor. You make it that far and then it's like.
Especially when it's like that much money,
Yeah. And he talks about like he never really was connected to the industry. It's not like he's a nepo baby. He talks about like the first time like he came to LA and they knew no one. He was like on the Amanda Show or something and they had no connections to anyone in Hollywood and he kind of just like made it on his own, which I think is pretty cool. I always respect that. I always thought it was weird when he was like in vlogs and stuff like that with YouTubers. I'm like, you're like a legit actor. You've been on Nickelodeon since you were like 13. Like, why are you doing this?
But I mean, I guess so many of those like young actors have to like keep reinventing themselves though. So
that's true.
Like look, Christy Carlson Romano with like her podcasts and stuff, and like
I forget she was a child actor actually because I see her as just a podcast person.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's
a lot
true.
of them have to pivot, especially because like when you're young, like the finances stuff, it's not like you have it like locked down, because it's
that's true.
Like Jeanette McCurdy always talks about how much money like her mom took from her iCarly checks, and they were making so much money, but like
were they like what is I don't even know, like what would be an amount?
They were making I think millions, I want to say.
Wow, that is sad. I'm sure Josh made that much. He had like Drake and Josh spinoff, like
yeah, so they made $180,000 per episode. So like by a season, like what? Like and there's like those are long seasons.
They're
like
long
30
seasons.
Episodes.
Yeah, they're not paying bills, so they should theoretically just be saving all that money.
Yeah, but a lot of a lot of parents are a little problematic, but
oh man, that really sucks. Yeah, I don't know Josh, maybe that is why, but yeah, I was just thinking Josh is always working, so he wouldn't need to do vlogs because he like played the villain in a movie. He played like a bully in a movie, like when he lost weight he ended up playing like a mean kid. I can't think of what it was. Yeah, I feel like it's one with like Frankie Muniz or something, and I'm just like, oh, it's so weird to see him as like a bully, but yeah, I guess you have to like pivot. It would be hard to be a child star, I guess.
He's been doing the rounds, I guess, because he was also on Canceled. Did you see that?
Maybe. I think I maybe saw clips online again. I didn't watch the full thing.
I saw clips too. I just saw that he like credited you with like getting his YouTube channel started.
Wait, what? Me?
Yes.
What? Okay, I need to watch this clip ASAP. Okay, what? No way. Random.
Yes. He was like, because Brooke, I don't know how Brooke and Tana like brought you up. Of course, they love you. And they were just like saying how much they love you. And Josh was like, yeah, like, you know what? Like, I honestly credit like Trisha for helping me get my YouTube channel started because like before I was posting and no one was really watching, but then I did like, I think, did he do like a mukbang with you?
Yeah, we did mukbangs together.
He said that was like the kickstart of him doing YouTube and like.
I feel like David probably did more for him than me, but I'll take that credit. No, he honestly, like Josh was like so nice and he was so humble. And to me, he was like a big star because I watched him on like TV as a kid. So he always was really nice. And I think it does come with, and again, I say this because like obviously I'm fat and stuff like that. I think it comes with like being overweight as a kid. You just always feel like a little bit less than people.
Yeah.
And I think even if you lose weight, you still feel that way.
100%.
Yeah. Like obviously you've talked about this too. And it's like, I've never lost the weight, so I wouldn't know. To me, if I lost weight, I'd be like, I'm hot shit. Like you can't even talk to me. But I've always heard like big people who lose weight, they're like, you still kind of feel like you're less than, you're still the fat kid or people think of you.
Yeah.
And you are still like, you do think of him as like weight loss or like a fat kid or whatever, you know what I mean? I feel like that's me too. If I lost weight, people would just still put up photos of me fat and still call me like a fat ass and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, no.
People are like mean with that. But anyways, the point of that was I do feel like fat people or people who were once fat tend to be more humble than people who are like a Scotty Sire. You know what I mean? And no shade to them. They work hard and like good for them for having a good body. But I always like people who have a little bit of a struggle with the weight. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think because like you're so used to being overlooked, which is a sad reality, you know?
Yeah.
Or and you just kind of like get used to it that you can't really shake that off no matter.
Yeah. Or with Drake and Josh, you're like next to Drake, so he's like the hot one and stuff like that. That would be annoying.
And you
too.
have to be like the funny one for otherwise like you bring nothing, you know. So it's like
I would love to have him on the pod. I wonder if he would like. I guess he's still kind of in that group. He's still kind of friends with them. I would just love to like know how his experience was in the vlog. So like, did he actually like it or was he doing it? Which a lot of people just did it for clout. I think Jeff too would be like the first to say like I did it for follow. And then became friends with them. But I always wonder like were they actual friends or?
I mean this is just like an assumption based off like what I see of Josh, but he's so like genuine that I think that like. I think he would have like real friendships with somebody. I don't think he would have them with like maybe David or something because David is like not really like the connection type. But I think with some of them, like,
but you think he goes to movies with them and like goes to dinner with them? Like,
I think there's some like a good chunk of them he's probably like genuinely friends with.
Yeah, he's also very charming in person. He's one of those guys that are just like super charming and super sweet. And he was always down to like film and be in like my vlog. Like to me, I didn't know I started his channel, but I always thought mine was like lesser. My vlogs don't want to be him. So I always just like, oh, that's cool that Josh Peck wants. And again, it's a celebrity in you when you see someone like growing up. Oh God, I was dreaming of someone being on the podcast the other day, and they're not like super famous. I can't think of what it was, but I was like, oh, I watched them. Oh, it's one of the Teen Moms, which they are famous. But I like grew up watching them from like 15, and then now they're like 30 something, and I'm like, and she's supposed to come on the podcast. I'm like, I think I'd be very starstruck because I like watched this person grow up. They were on TV for like 15 years with their life, you know, and I was like, that'd be so wild. And I feel like Josh is kind of the same way because like he just, not that I watch Drake and Josh all the time, but it's still one of those things where it's like, oh, it's so surreal that like.
Totally.
You're my friend or you're like, I know you or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're peers.
It's like, I mean, we're kind of the same where like growing up with like TV seemed like, it just seemed like untouchable, almost like a.
Yeah.
Like I remember even like, I grew up in LA. I remember like going to like, to a live show of like, when I was little, I would go to like Big Brother, like where they film the live shows or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, wow, it was Studio City's like 30 minutes away. But I'm like, wow.
Studios.
I was like, wow, I've made it. Like, this is so crazy. Like, it just felt so like unreachable.
TV tapings always felt that way. We used to go to Jay Leno and you'd like wait outside at like 4 a.m. to get your tickets. Then you had to go to the other side to wait in line to get let into the studio, and we'd go right away at like 7 a.m. Once we got our tickets, we stand there. Glozell, who became a big YouTuber, she used to stand out there every single day too. This was before she was on YouTube, and she would be like, if we weren't the first in line, it was her, and we'd be out there. We have like pictures together, all stuff like that. And she would go every day to Jay Leno. We'd only go like maybe once a month or something, but she would do this like routine every single day. I don't know what her goal was, maybe to get on TV or be noticed by him or something. I don't know. I think they ended up like banning her. I think,
oh my God.
Yeah. I think they like told her not to. I don't know. It was very weird, but I always thought it was so cool. I loved watching like TV shows and seeing how it all works. And TV will always be such a staple for me. I'll always be like, oh, I want to. That's like the one thing I want to do. Is just like I want my own show. Kelly Clarkson just left Universal Studio lot, so maybe we can move in there and do our show.
Should have an opening.
Oh, I would love it. And she's on Ozempic now. They need another fatty to come in. I would love it. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Yeah, she lost weight. I think she did Ozempic. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know.
I know. Every time I see someone like suddenly very skinny, I'm just like, like you kind of know. I think, or assume, I should say, because we don't technically know. But
we don't know. We're journalists, and we don't know. We only assume. Unless we get those fact checked.
Educated assumptions, I guess.
Very much that. Very much educated assumption. Anyways, I would have loved to see Josh back in Twilight. Maybe if he comes on, we can reenact Twilight. We have a green screen.
Oh my.
Yeah, that would be fun. You could be Taylor Lautner.
Oh my God, I really need to learn how to do a backflip. Really...
Yes, start back when we start at the Eras movie show, and then we'll go on from there. Oh no, that's great. I have to watch that clip. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love when people are nice to me. I always get scared. Like I said, when I see anyone talk about me, I try to like go quickly because I just assume someone's like, ick, trash. I don't know. It's like this thing. But when people are nice, I love that.
Tana and Brooke are like I knew it was safe because it was them. Like no one could ever, say something bad about you there.
Yeah. They got my back.
They're so sweet.
I got their back too. I've always had Tana's back. I love Brooke now too because she's coming up this week. But I once I got to know her. But yeah, Tana, I always was like, I love her. Don't say anything bad about her. Like when people, I don't know. I feel like now people like see the like true Tana, but for so long people were just like, I don't know, really. I don't know. I guess she was in on the joke, but I don't know. I love her and I defend her forever, and she's so smart. And she'll be back next week. She's the co-host once a month. She's so much fun.
So back to Jacob Elordi for a second. I'm scared to get your opinion on it, but
what?
Did you see?
I love him now. I'm a fan now.
Oh yeah, thank God. Did you see that? His only point of reference to play Elvis in Priscilla was Lilo and Stitch.
Yes. As Brittany would say in her book about Ken Federline, bless his heart. Like, kind of live. How old is he? Is he young? He's like in his early 20s.
Yeah.
Kind of live for that. You know what it is too? It's like I could see that in his performance. I'm like, this gives Lilo and Stitch vibes. But I also feel like they didn't do like his prosthetics. Like they didn't do any prosthetics. They kind of just made him like, okay, here's an Elvis haircut. You know what I mean? Look, here's the thing. I hope that's not true. He did say later on, like he has every word of Elvis in his head or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if that's your reference, like yikes.
He's 26, which is, it's always so crazy when like someone is so like hot and successful and they're like younger than me. It's like kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, me to everybody in the world. I'm like, wow, they're really killing it.
But he did say that like in portraying like this version of Elvis, he was more like inspired by like Blue Valentine, that one movie. I think was it Ryan Gosling in it, or I think it was Ryan Gosling.
I don't know.
But more of like the dramatic like love stories than like Elvis himself. Like he's not trying to be like the Elvis,
right?
Because he did, Austin Butler talked about how like crazy his
like he immersed himself in it. Yeah.
And I think that kind of makes sense since it's like Priscilla's story to kind of just like more focus on that aspect of it than actually being the quintessential Elvis,
and following Austin Butler and stuff. That makes more sense. I kind of like when people do that when they're not like playing like an exact impersonation. Like I love Austin's, but yeah, like you couldn't even compete with that. So that makes sense. I'm excited to see. Are you gonna go watch it?
I actually think I am gonna see it because I'm interested to learn. The more I've only gotten like snippets of Priscilla's story, but like the more I see of it, the more I'm like interested in it.
Yeah, you're very female empowerment, so I think that's up your vibe. Yeah, I'm interested too. I love anything Elvis. So anything Elvis based, I'll like watch. At first, I was like being a hater because I love Austin Butler, but I was like, that was last year. This is 2023.
And Jacob Elordi is just so. I can only stand so strong, Like at the end of the day, like.
Who would you pick, Jacob Elordi or Scotty Sire?
Oh, Jacob Elordi for sure.
Because he's tall and dark.
Yeah, Scott, like you said, Scotty's more like boy next door. Kind of Jacob Elordi is like a hot, like movie star hot.
Is it because he's tall? Because it's like.
He's just hot. Like I think he's 6'5". He's like he has the accent. I think he's Australian. Or New Zealand, one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even harder than to be Elvis. I guess the interview he did have an accent. I don't remember him having an accent, but maybe it's not.
He's a Kiwi or an Aussie, one of those.
Oh my God, don't get those mixed up. I feel like people come for you. British and Welsh and Kiwi and Australia or whatever. I don't know the difference, but.
And then also randomly, Austin Butler is up for Hercules. The live action Hercules. Which people are upset about that.
He would be good for that too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh my God.
Casting stuff is hard, but like.
So they're going to do a live action Hercules?
They are, yeah.
He would be really good for it. But it is one of those things where it's like, I feel like there's just, you can't give too many good roles to the same person. You know what I mean?
I was thinking that too. I kind of miss the days of like an unknown.
Yeah.
And like, I miss the days of just casting like an unknown actor and then they become huge like overnight.
I feel like J-Lo was kind of like that with Selena. Like I feel like when they casted her, like that was like her big breakout role. Because like I feel like Zac Efron was like that for a while. He was like the musical boy. Like he did High School Musical and then he did Hairspray and then he did Greatest Showman. And it's like, okay, we love him. But also, like, is there someone else that could play these roles? You know what I mean? Like someone different. So I feel like when you go from one thing to the other, kind of just like, I don't know, we need variety. I love Austin Butler. But Dune was not the move for him after. Dune 2, did you see that one? Oh. Like, why did he do that one after?
Yeah, oh my God.
That's
Dune
the follow-up.
Dune is rough for me. My boyfriend loves Dune, and it was supposed to come out, I think, like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Dune 2?
Dune 2, yeah.
And didn't?
No, because the strike, so they pushed it back to like March, I think.
Oh my God, why did I think it was already out?
It was supposed to be out. During the strike, it got pushed back to like next year.
Oh.
But Dune was hard. It's just not for me. I fell asleep during it.
Yeah.
I'll probably fall asleep when I have to go see the second one. It's
But
just
Austin Butler's in it.
But he's like not hot in it, so it's hard to like be engaged.
I'm like, why do they go ugly after a big role? You know what I mean? They always try to go like something crazy looking, you know? Like Rami Malek did like James Bond after like the Queen movie, and I was like, that's a weird, and it was the most boring James Bond one. Huh? What?
But Dune, to some of us.
Oh,
we got a Dooney. We have a Dune buggy.
He's like Star Wars. Like Dune, I don't know. You don't give up that role. It's going to be there forever. And
Yeah, like you had to take it.
I can see him doing that.
I would take a role in Dune 2 or Dune 3.
Like if Dune 2 was like
it.
a 10-hour long movie, I would just sit there for 10 hours and just watch it.
Did you watch the remake Dune?
All of them, whatever.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh
But I
my
knew you then, and we
God.
didn't go see it. I remember I was wanting to go see it, but
Anyway, it's just so he might be a fan of it.
or it's just a
True.
big movie. I feel like if there's a big
It's just
movie
a
coming out,
moment in time that
And
you
there's
wanna be
it's
part
an
of.
A-list cast too, so I definitely could see it. Like, you know,
Being in it.
Zendaya, Timothy, Florence Pugh, Jason Momoa. I think is he in this? Is he still in it? So
Jason Momoa's a vibe.
it's like
Yeah.
an A-list cast. The press tour is gonna be crazy. But oh my God, yeah, the movie. No, my boyfriend's a Dune head, so like I get it. But
Are
oh
they
my
called
God,
Dune heads?
I don't know. I
They
kind
should
of
be
point
called
that
Dune
out. but-
buggies.
That's cuter.
Right,
Yes.
a little Dune bug.
Yeah.
I also heard Snow White is getting pushed to 2025.
This is bleak.
Everyone's
I'm scared.
like, that's wild. Everyone's like, maybe the CGI will be better by then.
I think they're okay. Did you see the first look that came out of Snow White?
Yeah, but she's just surrounded by the dwarves.
The dwarf. So that's why I'm like,
Oh my God. That's what they're saying. There might be CGIing the
I
dwarves
think they're
in.
doing a lot of like reshoot because they already were doing reshoots before the strike.
Oh.
Like because they already filmed so much, like last summer, and then they were doing reshoots again this summer, and then to push it back a whole other year, then they must be reshooting a lot more.
Yikes. The magical people get cut.
Yeah, and there was like literally photos of them on set. The magical people were filmed,
Yeah,
so we know that
saw
it was
them.
real.
Yeah.
So to be
Yeah, the
pushed
image
back
that came out looked cool. Like I was like, ooh,
I'm
that's
more
a cool
into that.
one.
Yeah. And Rachel looked cute in the Snow White dress.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they CGI'd the dress too because that dress was horrendous, the original one. Not to be a hater on her. She had nothing to do with the dress, but it was bad.
Yeah, I think they must be like worried because even like Little Mermaid didn't do as well, I think, as people expected. Because like usually those Disney remakes would make like $1 billion in the box office, and Little Mermaid made like I think 600
I'm shocked.
million.
I'm shocked.
So me too, because I thought that would definitely be like $1 billion movie.
Oh, it was so hyped. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Like the guy too that played Prince Eric was super hot. He was an unknown, I think, and it was like, damn hot.
Yeah,
Love him.
It's at least good that they're reshoot. That gives me a little bit more hope than them releasing the magical creatures now.
I thought
as
you said it
is.
was gonna be good. You like had high hopes for it.
No, I think that it's just not good to release a movie that's very divisive because it's like you have to, for a big movie, especially Disney, which has had so many like L's lately, like you need to appeal to as many people as possible, and no one was down for the magical creatures, really. You know,
no,
like
not even that no one was into it. I like that they're redoing it, but it's to be pushed back like 2 years. It's crazy.
wild. Yeah, I'm
which
scared.
is good. Yeah, hopefully it'll be better, and maybe they'll CGI everything, which I think that was also not an issue. But like with Little Mermaid, it was so CGI'd. Like the animals were kind of not cute and not whatever. I think they need to do cute. Like the picture we saw of the dwarves, they kind of look like the actual
cartoony,
dwarves.
yes.
Yeah, they look like the cartoon ones, which I loved.
Totally. I don't like in Little Mermaid. I didn't like that they made the fish look like a real flounder. Like make them yellow. Like it doesn't have to be a real.
No, that fish was
scientific.
scary. Yeah. Make them a cute little chubby yellow
Make them
one.
cartoony. It's like might as well just go. I don't know. If it's Disney, people want to see like what we know. You know.
Yeah. If you were a dwarf, what would your name be?
Chubby.
No, you are not chubby. Oh my gosh. You'd be Smiley. You smile
that's
a lot.
cute.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
I'd
be
be
down for that.
hungry. I'm always hungry when we do this. I eat before. I had a cheese Danish, a chocolate Danish, a cereal. Like I eat before, and I'm always so hungry when we're doing this. I don't know what it is. I need like a snack or something like that. I'd be hungry. Moses, what would you be?
I'd be wavy.
What?
Wavy.
I don't know.
Like, what?
What's
I think You could be
wavy?
like
Something
artsy.
water. Water related. I don't know.
I think you feel like you're waving. Artsy is good.
Artsy's
You're
cute.
artsy.
Okay, I'll be
Wavy
artsy
sounds like you're
fartsy.
gonna wave or you're waving your hair or something like that. Okay.
I'll be artsy.
Okay, you're artsy. I'm hungry. You're smiley.
That's cute. We're in the movie with Rachel. That'd be.
I would love it. Could you imagine? Love Rachel Zegler. Maybe she'll come on the podcast too. I love
We
her
have been
so
an
much.
ally to Rachel when not many have been, so I hope she remembers that if
Yeah.
things turn around for her.
I'm trying to get on the bandwagon of just like hyping people up too, because like even though they're celebrities and they're making, I think the comment, because I see Halloween costumes now of people dressed up as Snow White, and so now I see the TikTok sound of people like, if I'm going to wear a princess costume for 18 hours, I better get paid every penny for it. And I was like, that's kind of one of those things where people are like, that's everyone's dream job is to be Snow White in the live action remake. They would pay to be in it, which would be wild.
About that moment. Oh my God. Yeah.
Did you see the list of places women refuse?
Yes.
And one of them was the movies. First of all, I was like, wait, isn't that like a date night spot?
Yeah.
There's a whole list. Do you have the? I wrote down a lot because I was like, wait a second.
Yes. Literally probably the top like 10 is like all offensive to us, I think, for the most part.
Right away, it was all chains off the bat.
Number one,
cheesecake.
So just preface, this was a survey that women responded to respond what are like the worst places that you can go on a first date.
I love my women, but there's a reason some of y'all be single. You're a little too picky about your first dates. Like,
said like they won't go.
Yes,
that's the first date.
Yes. Give us a date altogether.
Yeah, this went viral.
So number one, Cheesecake Factory.
What? First of all, Cheesecake Factory is expensive. It has a huge menu. It's bougie. Like, that's dinner. Yeah. People complain because also on the list is going to just drinks. It's like, okay, now you're going to be picky about where you go to dinner. At least it's paying for your meal. Like, damn, people. The Cheesecake Factory has been getting hate because the TikTok girl, too. There was a TikTok girl who, like, refused to get out of the car when it was Cheesecake Factory. What? Did you see her?
I did not see that.
It was, I don't know if this is what spawned this list, but she was just like, no, I'm not getting out of the car. It's Cheesecake Factory. And she, like, refused to go on the date because it was Cheesecake Factory. I was like, what? Why are these people, you're going to complain about not getting dinner and then you're going to complain about going, where do you want to go? Not Masters on the first date. Like, what?
Cheesecake Factory to me is like, that's classy. Like, that would be a big date for me and my boyfriend, I think. Like,
it's a big date for us. That's like our outing. Like, we go, we dress up. I have him take my picture every time we're outside the Cheesecake Factory. Like, it's when I'm glam. That's when we go.
Also,
so
that you're in a place that you can have a conversation.
Yeah.
It feels good. Like, it's quiet. You're sitting in front of each other. You can talk.
Big menu.
Yeah.
You can order literally anything. I'm sorry. Someone told me Cheesecake Factory. I'd be like so impressed. I'd be like, wow, that's really good. What do you get there? I'm so hungry.
I usually get the orange chicken. I love
me
it's so
too.
good.
I get orange chicken a lot.
I love those little like lettuce wraps that they do too.
I get that when I'm skinny. Like when I be skinny. I've gotten the lettuce wraps. Are you talking about like the lettuce ones with like the chicken?
Yes. Oh my God. But the burgers are good. They have one burger with like macaroni inside.
Oh.
So there's so much there.
I never had that. Oh my God.
Good.
Burger and macaroni. Macaroni and cheese is my favorite. That's my
I
favorite
did have
meal.
one really bad date at the Cheesecake Factory. So I'm like trying to relate to them, but it was a first date, and maybe it was like a Tinder date or something. But I remember he was just like, we went to like mini golfing first, and then we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and even mini golfing was kind of bad. And I almost like dipped before Cheesecake Factory driving there because it was so uncomfortable. Like he just was so standoffish.
Was it Sherman Oaks?
Sherman Oaks.
So
yes.
it's like right on the same street.
Yes. So
I used to live on that street. I lived right next to the Cheesecake Factory.
That's a good. I mean, everything is there.
Yeah, it's really good.
But
PF Chang's.
like it seemed like he was not into me at all. Like just so uninterested. I remember like. He asked what I do. I'm like, oh, like I work with like Joey Graceffa a little bit, and he's like, oh, I think I've seen the billboard for like Escape the Night. Like, who'd want to do that?
First
I was
all,
like,
fan. If you know like the billboard, the show, like that's
I know.
fan.
And I was like, he was like dogging. I was like, okay, and just like on his phone and stuff, like so not into it. But then like a couple like months later. Hit me up on Grindr, and he like had a boyfriend and was like looking for a third. I was like, this is like what? But every other experience I've had there is like a pleasant time.
I think it's classy. I've never seen a fight break out at Cheesecake Factory.
No.
One time we got plastic in the mashed potatoes. There was like shards of plastic chopped in there. And then they didn't even offer us like anything for free. They're literally just like, next, you can have what do they offer us? Like an appetizer for free or something? I don't know. They didn't even take anything off. They're like, next time you get an I think they asked like, do you want something else? And we're like, no, there's glass in this potato.
Yeah,
it looked like glass, but it was like.
It for another meal. I was like, no, this is really bad. I was just lucky that I don't know why I was like chewing, like at that moment we were talking or something, so I didn't like chew. Yeah. And suddenly I feel like this sharp something in my mouth, and because I could have hurt myself.
Or yeah, what if it was like Malibu with because there's mashed potatoes? And I'm like, what if she like ate that? And it was weird because we told them, and they're like, oh yeah, we got complaints about this earlier. And I was like,
that was the worst part. They're like, yeah, somebody
what?
else.
Yeah.
So obviously somebody at some point shredded a piece of plastic into the whole mashed potato, and they didn't think about taking the whole thing out.
Yeah, like earlier there was a complaint about it. And I'm like, how about stop serving these potatoes then?
These little food horror stories. I saw today someone is suing Chick-fil-A because they had a black chicken nugget that made them violently ill. Like someone else, I forget which pizza chain, someone found a rubber glove in their pizza.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's been a lot of food horror stories lately.
Sometimes that does turn me off from eating at restaurants. Like I really do love cooking at home for that reason. Because I'm like, especially like Cheesecake Factory, I was turned off for a while. Even still, I'm kind of like, we order from there from time to time. And I'm like, I love Cheesecake Factory. And I think going there is like fresher is better. But yeah. a little bit. But we
You'd
did
be
go back,
skeptical.
so
Yeah.
you end up going back. But sometimes that turns me out. Yeah, we've had some weird experiences with food places. But Benihana one time when they come and bring the ice cream out, which is my favorite restaurant ever, they brought a spoons out for you to eat the ice cream, and Moses had like molasses, like sticky stuff on the back. So he went to go eat the ice cream. It was like hot sauce on the back of the spoon, and it was supposed to be a brand new spoon. And I was like, oh. I just gave him like a hot sauce spoon to eat the ice cream. I couldn't eat the ice cream after that. I was like, oh, that's gross. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so we get the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, don't go there for your first date. But
I know
Applebee's,
we really came around.
Yeah, Applebee's
number 2.
They know what's up. Applebee's is really good too.
Yeah.
People are wild.
And the drinks are cheap at Applebee's.
Maybe that's why people don't want to go. I didn't see what's the one we go to? Outback. I didn't see Outback on the menu.
Outback, maybe it's
people
Outback
are
is
okay
not
with the
as
Outback.
common too. I think. I mean, and the Bloomin' Onion at Outback.
Bloomin'
so
Onion, the shark
that
drinks.
wins everyone over.
Yeah, everyone's like, we're there. You should go to Bloomin' Onion, or you should go to Applebee's today, or Outback. You look like you could get the shark drink. Are you gonna wear this to pumpkin patch?
I don't know. I know. I brought a little like farm out, like a little
you're gonna
orange,
do pictures
a little
and stuff?
pumpkin outfit. Yeah.
God, I wish we planned it better because of Moses' birthday and stuff like that. It's just like we kind of run out of Halloween time. Like literally on his birthday, we had to be Travis
It's
Kelce
open
and Taylor
for
Swift.
Thanksgiving. Like they do fall stuff there, so you guys, take Malibu. It's like a little farm, so
We
it's
meant
cute.
to do it last week because I'm like, we need to do something with her, and then I don't know what
They
ended
have
up
like
happening.
sunflower picking. It's cute. Like fruit picking. Yeah.
But he looks like a fall, like what he's wearing with Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, the flannel and the khaki
Yeah,
pants.
it's a very fall outfit.
You want to go to the pumpkin patch? Okay, as Travis Kelce and
That's what I
Taylor
would
Swift.
take Taylor Swift.
Okay. I guess he looked, yeah.
That'd be funny. Have you seen that one? There's like the TikTok impersonator Ashley of Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
And she did that one prank where she walked around like Century City and everyone thought it was her.
Yeah.
What if that happens? You go to the pumpkin patch, everyone's like,
Everyone thinks I'm Taylor.
Taylor.
Her legs look a little thicker than I thought. I know when we did the Taylor cosplay, I'm just like, oh, my legs don't look like that. She had like cute little like loafers in her shoes, and I was just like, my legs are gonna look stumpy. They're just not gonna look cute. You know what I mean?
No, you would look cute in it.
No, I did get the bracelet.
The one I
Ermish
sent
or
you,
whatever.
yeah.
I got 77 on because that's Moses' birth
That's
year, so I got
cute.
77. I thought it was cute. It came really fast, actually. I thought, okay, it's gonna take a minute, but it came. Is it the one she actually wore?
Yes, it was the
cheap.
same exact friendship bracelet. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love a friendship bracelet moment.
I know it's the new thing.
Yeah. Chili's, they said no. I love Chili's.
I love Chili's.
Chili's is so good, and it has again variety.
Yes, and you can do like I was gonna say maybe it's impressive to me that they do like you can have the date night special, like the 3 course for 2 or whatever.
Yes.
But maybe people don't like that. But I think that's cute. I wouldn't want someone to like go broke for over like a
Especially
dinner.
at first date.
Yeah.
This is first dates people are talking about. I know we went to the Santa Monica restaurant, Elefante, and they had like the 3-course thing for like $35, which is like you could get spicy vodka pasta. You got like branzino on that, which is like bougie, and you get an appetizer. I know that's what I'm saying. People's standards are too high. When people are like, why am I single? It's like maybe my standards were too low, and I get it. And it's like sucks to, but some of these people are like, I'm not going to do this if a guy doesn't pay for this. And this, it's like, okay, girl, like chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're paying for dinner, I get, because also on this list is like drinks, like just going a bar for drinks was on the list. And I was like, I kind of get, on one hand, it's like, it's casual. You can get out of it if you want. Because when people want dinner, which I get, I always want dinner too. But you can't get out of it as easily. So if
Yeah.
it's like going weird or awkward, you kind of have to like sit through that dinner. Or like the one guy did the 48 oyster girl, like he just left. He just left midway. So part of me is like, I don't mind going for a drink to see if they look like their picture or whatever. Make sure you like their vibe. Because what if they're weird or creepy?
Yeah.
But I always was a dinner date girl too. I was like, you need to at least take me to dinner because.
I was mostly a drink. I was mostly like go for drinks kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But also it's like, I'm not really much of a drinker either. So it's kind of like.
No, same. I would have like a sip, but I
Me
think it's like
too.
a casual get out situation.
And you're right. It's not too. It can be long, like if you want, but it can also be like shorter.
Well, then you could go get dinner if you're vibing. I think that's like a safe way. When people are like, I don't want to do that. The other one was your house. I was like, I get that.
I get that
That's
one
just a hookup.
too. Yeah.
But that's almost like the movies, and I was like, the movies was on this list. Like the movies is a date.
Yeah, I know. I guess because you can't talk. Maybe that's something, but it gives you. I think it's good because after the movie, you have like if you don't know how to start a conversation, you can talk about the movie.
That's
and then
how I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I guess that kind of goes with dinner, like dinner and a movie or something like that. That makes sense. Like, yeah, I was shocked. I was like, I love going to the movies on a date, but maybe to talk to someone. But again, it's a first date, so maybe it's like you meet up, see if you vibe, and if you're vibing at the movies, then you're like, oh, why don't we go get drinks or we go get dinner?
Yeah. If you need to find something in common, you have something like right off the bat.
Yeah.
So
enjoy the dates. I feel like anyone I know that's single is like, I'm like, you shouldn't. because you don't know when you're in it because you like don't want to be single. Some people are fine with it, but the people who don't want to be single, you're like, I don't want to be single. But it's like, I wish I would have enjoyed like dating more. You know what I mean? I was so focused on like, how are we going to spend our life together? But I wish I could have just enjoyed like going on dates. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I kind of took them like, I don't know, as like, it's stressful. I don't want to do this. Enjoy it.
I was a person who said yes to like every single like date. Like,
you did?
Yeah, because I'm like, you never know if this is the one. So even there was somewhere I was like, if I was tired or whatever, I would still be like, okay, like whatever, I'm gonna go on this date. Most of them though were not like, I don't know. I guess it was mostly like the repetitiveness of you have like similar conversations. It's like similar places. It all like feels kind of like the same almost, like Groundhog Day with like a different guy. And so I got kind of over it. And then you kind of lose faith after a while because you go on so many first dates and they go nowhere. They're like, oh my God.
That's
like,
true. You're like, I'm over it. I do get that. It can be exhausting. I get it. I think always like you just are like when you're like married, you're like, oh, enjoy being single. But then when you're single, like this is the worst. I just want to find my like one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it goes both ways. Because I always think about that too. I was like, wow, we will never have like a first kiss with someone again. Like, which is like awful in the moment because like, oh my God, this ick, this loser, whatever. But it's like, I don't know, the excitement of like me. Like I think about us. Like I was thinking about when we first met, and I was like, God, it was like so exciting, like getting to know you, and we just be like all over each other all the time. And, like the first kiss, I remember it on our first date, and it was like at dinner, and I remember he's like, "Ooh, can I kiss you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it's like you get those like butterflies. And
yeah, there is something sweet about that. But it's like, I don't know, I like the cozy element of it too, and like not having to like second guess, like it's just like the ease and like the reassurance I think of an actual like relationship.
Totally.
So because I remember just being so like anxious, especially if you are the one that like gets into it more.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the worst. Because then you're just like second guessing, and it's like,
oh wait, that's the worst. That's the worst dating is like when you don't know where you stand. It is so nice now. I can go to the movies with my mom, or like go out to eat, or like go away for the weekend or whatever, and know that he's like still gonna be here and not like with a girl in our house or something. You know what I mean? Because every time I would think if I'm not with him, he's gonna like he'll find something. And he usually was the case in every relationship I've been in, is like they were doing something else or with another girl or like doing whatever. It's like, it is nice to not have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that no, 100% being in a relationship all day long over being single.
Yeah.
But to people who are single, I'm always just like, you know what? Like you don't just enjoy it because like one day you'll like find someone or whatever. I don't know. But
I see what you mean. Like if you're in that phase, enjoy that phase. No, I think no matter what like phase of life you're in, like enjoy it because you just never know.
And if it's a struggle for you being single, then like when you do meet the one, it's just like me, I've been perpetually single my entire life, like never lived with a guy. So then when you do meet the person, you're just like, oh, this is so great. You know what I mean? You appreciate it much more. And not to say I'd ever want to go back, but there's just so like the first moments. And again, when I think of first moment flutters, I really just think of with Moses because everyone else said it was kind of cringy. It's kind of like a little weird and cringy and awkward. But yeah, I don't know. I think first dates are fun, and I think I would definitely go to Olive Garden on my first date because Never Ending Pasta Bowls are happening right now, and it's delicious. And the breadsticks.
That was another like all these like Olive Garden was number 5. All of these seemed like classy places, so I was pretty shocked.
Do you eat pasta on a date? Like, do you eat pasta in front of you? First of all, do you eat pasta?
I do eat pasta, yeah.
Like, I mean, when at home, at the restaurant, like
Maggiano's and Olive Garden are like the Italian places I go to, and those are like special occasions to me.
Yeah, me too. Maggiano's especially because there's only like a few of those. Yeah.
So whenever I'm there, like I'm getting the pasta. At home, we mostly make like the zucchini whatever pasta at home. I know. I'm like,
I love it. No, you look great. Yeah.
It's also just easier to make it too because I'm really bad at boiling water.
Wait, how do you make it? You don't have to boil water?
No, you just like heat it up. It's like really easy.
Oh, okay. Love that.
I'm so bad at boiling water. I found out because it's my ADD. Like I start something and then I walk away and I forget about it.
It boils down.
And there's like nothing. I come back and there's nothing.
Do you not cook?
When I have to, yeah. But I just hate it. I'm so bad at it. And my boyfriend likes it more, but he's busy with school, so he like can't always during the week. So whenever it's up to me, I'm like, Postmates.
Oh yeah. And you have a lot of great restaurants in your area.
Yeah, so it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to be more like you guys though, with like the home cooks.
Oh man, home cooking is great. But honestly, I think you gain more weight when you home cook because we cook so much and we eat so good, and it's like hot, and then you just eat all of it. Like I eat so much, especially when Moses cooks for me. Oh my God, I eat like the pasta. Oh man, your pasta, the bolognese is so delicious. It's like.
That is healthy.
Yeah, I guess it's like not fried. It's not as much like salt and sodium.
And you know like what you're putting in it. Cause,
because restaurants, they put a lot of
butter and stuff.
Butter and cream and sugar, and they put things into the food you don't even know.
That's true. Man, we should have some bolognese pasta tonight. That sounds so good. Well, I guess we always eat at weird times after the podcast. We started a little earlier today, but usually when you leave, we go eat. It's like 2:30, and then it's like,
I know,
then we don't have dinner, and then it's like, okay, so we just have like a weird lunch dinner thing. But I love pasta. I don't know. We always talk about food. I eat before we do the podcast, but I love Olive Garden, but I never would eat pasta like on a first date. Like I actually never really ate pasta unless it's like penne noodles where you can put it in your mouth, but like spaghetti, I never ate in front of people.
I'm not good at like the two utensils. Like, you know, when people use the spoon and the fork and like twirl it.
Yeah, I never understood that at all.
Me either. I'm so bad at that.
Why?
So that's another.
They always give you a big spoon with your pasta, and I was like, no, thank you.
I know. I try to be like classy about it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm really bad. My left hand. I'm like,
just shovel it in your mouth. Just shovel it all. I think that's the way to go. Red Lobster. Church. I can see church.
I can see in the gym. The gym I would never do as like a date.
I just don't know anyone who says gym. I've never been invited to the gym on the first date.
I've heard of like gays doing that, especially like the fitness gays, but I would not like. I don't like talking to anyone really at the gym. Like,
right? Yeah.
I'm kind of miserable there, so it's like I don't know. I'm not really chatty. I only go with my boyfriend to the gym because he annoys me when I'm there. So
really?
It's like
you guys don't go together?
No.
Oh,
yeah, I signed up to a different gym because we always like would get in spats because like. I just am very like doing my own thing. And
I thought you were gonna bring him today because you guys are going to the pumpkin match. So I thought he was like,
that was the plan, but he didn't wake up. He's like, he's not a morning person.
What was with it today? I know I hired a hair person today that didn't wake up, and they was like an hour late. I was like, I'm just gonna plop this wig on myself. I just Bobby put it on himself the wig, but it is crazy. I'm like, I get it. But I was like, what?
I'm such a morning person too that I'm like I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm a morning person. I like have to get. I like to get up. I have to get up, especially when I have something to do. I'm definitely gonna get up.
Me too. Especially like by 8 a.m. I'm like I feel like I should have so much stuff done already. I'm very weird.
Yeah, you are up early. You are. I am too. I'm up early, but I like to, actually that's when I get stuff done too. Especially if like Malibu's sleeping.
Yeah.
Like I'll like go on my computer and stuff like that and try and get stuff done. Moses stays up late, but I go to bed early. Like last night I went to bed at like 8:30. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I went to bed
so
like
great.
at 9:30 last night, and it's just like I don't know. It's just nice.
A nice night's sleep. That's why when people don't get up. It's like my one pet peeve. I'm like, how do you not like your boyfriend obviously goes to school and like works and has like whatever. But I'm like, when he can't get up, I'm like, get up.
Yeah. Get your ass up and work.
Get your ass up and work. Oh my gosh. Actually. Did you see Enrique Iglesias can't sing?
No, wait, I didn't see this at all.
Oh my god, you haven't seen him on TikTok? My whole TikTok for you pages is Enrique not singing.
Oh my god,
it's him. It's the audience singing. He'll start a song, but like Balamos, he'd be like. He just put it up, and like let the rhythm take you over, and then like he doesn't sing like on key, on tune, in rhythm, in anything. Like it's so off, and I'm like, I wonder. And he's like on a big tour with Pitbull and Ricky Martin right now, and I'm just like, but he doesn't sing any of his songs. He has everyone sing the hero. He just says, "I can be a hero." It's like the audience singing it. He doesn't sing any of his songs. It's weird. And then like the ones he does sing, he's just so off. It's so weird. God. And I'm like, did they not be able to sing this whole time, or is it just like this one? But it's all over my For You page. I would love to have Ricky Martin on this podcast.
Is he problematic?
Right now? I think that was. I think it was the guy took back his thing. His nephew or something accused him of.
Oh no, I was gonna say, didn't he cheat on his husband with a OF boy?
Oh. Okay, we don't know this. Wait, really?
That's what I heard. I mean, I could allegedly.
Oh my god, no, I didn't know. I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he was gay. Damn, just kidding. No, I love a gay icon. He's wonderful. He was like, I grew up in the Midwest and we were not diverse back there. So I remember when Livin' La Vida Loca came out, like all the little white kids in my school were just like, we are so flavor living La Vida Loca. And I just feel like, it's kind of like Enrique Iglesias too. When you listen to like Balamos, I think is the name of the song, like, you thought it was so Spanish because it was like, he's like, te quiero, mi amor. And I'm like, ooh, Spanish. But the rest of the thing is all in English. Yeah. And I was like, oh. But, back in the Midwest, like, we loved it. We're very cultured, you know what I mean? And it was great. I love them. And I would love to go see. I think Pitbull's on their tour. I don't really care for Pitbull.
Mr. Worldwide. I don't really.
Yeah.
Me either. I don't know if that's a tour I would check out. But that's crazy.
It's not a tour you'll check out.
No, it's not. I mean, now, especially after hearing this about Enrique.
Enrique is my birthday twin. He's my
really?
Yeah. So I thought it'd be fun to go see him, but maybe not. When I saw the live performance, I mean, live performances are hard. They're not easy.
You think at that point you would just lip sync though, right? Or at least have the backing track like really loud.
It was bad. Yeah, right. Like have a backing track or something like that.
The ones I've seen, they were all like the auto-tune broke or something.
Maybe because they can auto-tune you live, so maybe that was the case. But I mean, sometimes when you're just so hot, you can just get away with stuff. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of those cases. I'm a huge fan of his
dad. Julio Iglesias.
What? Was he big when you grew up?
My dad loves him.
Wait, what songs does he sing?
You wouldn't know them.
I don't even know him. I just know my dad loves them.
You're not into Latin music.
No. Like the girls, yeah.
Becky
Like
G.
Rosalia, I like a lot.
Oh, okay.
I like Becky G though.
Yeah, I love Becky G too. They're great. They're wonderful.
I'm surprised we haven't got into this yet. The Skims, the men's Skims. Well, there's 2 Skims stores this week.
There's 2 Skims. Yes. Well, we ordered the men's.
Did you?
October 26th is when it came out. I ordered them for Moses' birthday because I was like, I don't know what to get him. And then I always talk so much about Skims. I wear Skims all the time, and I was like, oh my god,
I know you talked about before how you want him to wear Skims.
Yeah. So now the campaign that came out with all those football players, I was just like, yeah, bring me those Skims. So I ordered everything that you possibly can for a man. I got the 3-inch boxer briefs. I got the t-shirts. They need a little bit more variety. It's kind of just plain t-shirts, but that's all he wears anyways. So yeah, so we're gonna try them out. We haven't gotten them yet, but once
I'm excited.
we do,
Yeah, Moses, you have to review them because I'm skeptical, especially because they're kind of pricey. Like, so I mean, they're kind of like middle of the road, I guess. You know,
what's
like
the price on the t-shirt?
like $50.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, because we went to All Saints, and those t-shirts are like $90.
Yeah, I think that's what I think is like middle. It's not like a Target, but it's not like a
Do you wear a lot of basics? No, you wear always like fancy stuff. Like you always have a
It's a lot
cool
of like
shirt.
ASOS. Yeah. Like
Is that where you shop? Yeah, you have cool ones. Yeah, I feel like it's a very basics thing. Maybe we could recreate the campaign. Who's the football player that everyone went crazy for?
Nick Bosa or Bossa. But again, I found
Problematic.
Yes, which I was like, he is a beautiful man. I pop crazy to him, like, and then right after I like all these photos of him, I see that he's problematic, and I'm like, oh no.
Okay, I don't really know why. I just saw X being like, you guys, this is a problematic person. Why? Is it because he supports Trump?
He is also like anti like BLM. He didn't support the whole. It was like an all lives matter, like not seeing the point of like, you know.
He was an all lives matter person.
Or really sensitive over was he hates Beyonce, which
that's wild to me. I saw like he's a Trump supporter. I didn't see the anti BLM thing, and then I'm like, but also he said Beyonce's music trash. I was like, is that why we're gonna cancel him? Is because he was like Beyonce?
But I think that in conjunction with all the other stuff too, because she is such like she just represents like Black music so well, you know. So that kind of in conjunction with everything else, which.
He's also just like, again, one of those things where I feel like good looking people just get a pass at more things.
True.
Where people are like, I don't care. I'm still going to like thirst over him.
Yeah.
Which is true. I think a lot of people just look at him and be like, he's gorgeous. I don't care about the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what do you think about the Skims nipple bra?
Nipple bra. At first, oh my God. Sometimes this is why I'm like, this is when I get my foot in my mouth over these things. Because I sent it at first, I was like, this has to be a joke. Because I think of social media where like you can't show that, right? I'm always wearing covers like pasties or something like that because you can't even have them like erect on TikTok or anything like that. Like YouTube, I think, will flag you. Instagram. At least for me, I've been flagged on every platform if I'm not wearing a bra.
Oh
so if I'm not wearing a bra, I put pasties on or something like that because I don't know if it's just me because I have big boobs or what. So I saw this. I'm like, this has to be a joke because where are people going to wear this? What are you going to go out in public? Like, again, I'm all about freeing the nipple. I hate wearing bras, so I love the idea of showing nipple. But like, people look at you weird. Like even when we go out to dinner in my Skims dress, I always put pasties on because people will like look at you weird or judge you or something like that for your nipples. So I was like, this has to be a joke. I sent it to my mom and sister in the group chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, why would anybody want this? And then my mom, who's had a mastectomy, was like, oh, well, for those of us who like don't have nipples.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I know. So I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's what I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think about, it's like the Demi Lovato sugar-free situation. You don't think about everybody that could wear it. And I was just like, oh man. And I was like, yeah.
It's a bra that has a built-in like nipple in it.
What?
Yeah. It's a bristle nipple to like see. And then another friend of mine was just like, oh, I like it because mine are uneven and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, and mine too. So that makes sense. But like, why, I just feel like you can't wear those, unless it's just me. But every time I'm in public, I guess I haven't done it in so long. But when I used to, like, people would say something, social media will take your post down. So I was like, when are you going to wear this? I love it. I like the idea of it.
Like, it's more of a recent thing because I remember like growing up, it's like whenever like a celebrity was like braless and you can see the like nipples through their shirts, like it seemed risque.
Right.
But now like I feel like it's more acceptable for like women to wear bras, not wear bras, whatever. So my thinking was like, oh, I guess maybe not even thinking about like mastectomy or anything, like people who, you know, are insecure about it.
Right.
I was like, oh, I guess it makes sense because if someone like wants to, you know, have that look, like they're not wearing a bra, but they want like the support still, like, or need the support.
Totally, yeah.
I was like, I guess that makes sense. But in our defense, though, my boyfriend also thought it was a joke. Kim's like announcement video seemed like a sketch, like an SNL.
Global warming.
Yeah.
Another thing Kim's coming for me for. I feel like I'm the global warming bimbo over here. There's only one of us, okay? So I saw that. I was like, this is an odd campaign for a bra. Like,
she was saying like, I'm very concerned about global warming. Sea levels are rising. So with this bra, you always look like your nipples are cold. So I was like, That seems like a joke. I thought I understand why people would think it's like unserious. You know?
It definitely feels unserious. It felt like definitely like an April Fool's joke, but I'm like, I guess some people are into it. I had a friend that was into it. My mom said she was into it. I just like the idea of not wearing a bra and just being able to like free the nip and just like wearing it under a shirt. But again, I get criticized for it, and then Kim Kardashian gets praised for it. The double standard of boobs and big boobs, I don't know. People just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
It is. I
want to get it. It's not for me. I just don't want to wear a bra, and then you can see my nipples. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I want a bra.
$60.
Yeah, I mean they're expensive, and I wear a Skims bra when I have to wear bras. But I hate wearing bras, and I should. My boobs would look better, probably better for my back. But they're so uncomfortable. I hate it so much. Even if I get a big band, I hate wearing them. They're awful.
Kim should take that direction though, with like cancer survivor. That's like an actual beautiful angle. And like,
yeah. My mom would be the first to model for it because she had one like kind of like put back on, but it doesn't like erect obviously, and then she doesn't have one on the other. And she's really self-conscious about it. And to me, I'm always like, mine are very uneven and very botched. So one's like really high and one's not. So one's always like, yeah. So in my head, I'm like, God, I would love to have like no nipples, but she's just like, there's people who are just like, yeah, she really would like it. Yeah, that would be great, Kim. If you want my mom as a model, she'll do it. She was about it. She was like, and I was like, oh man, yeah, like I probably shouldn't have been like, oh, that's so dumb.
No, but I would not have ever thought, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah, she should totally do it. I know, it's so funny. Very innovative, very creative. I love when something's like different like that. I was like, okay, that's cute.
Yeah, your mom, honestly, she freaking sold me on it. I'm like, wow, that's because at first I was just like, it seemed like kind of like, whatever. I was trying to like be open-minded, but I'm like, it seems like a weird, like, especially when just coming out with the men's stuff like the week before.
Yeah, now it's like, here's a nipple bra.
Yeah, but like hearing that, I'm like, oh, that's actually really cool.
It might be good for like drag queen or trans or stuff like that too, to have like the little bit of fullness.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's great. I saw Kylie too was in the news. I saw Black China on Vile Files. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see a clip of that.
Where she's talking about Tyga was dating her underage, which like, I guess maybe I knew, but I didn't know. She was 16.
Oh, I didn't know she was 16.
Yeah, and this was from Black China's mouth, so this obviously I don't know. This is all alleged for me, but this was Black China, and she said she was getting all the hate, but that Kylie and Tyga started hanging out when she was 16, and it's like, you have all... Again, I love the Kardashians. I think they're glamorous, but it's like this kind of stuff is kind of like one of those things where it's just like, what? Everyone's okay with this? Like everyone's like fine with it? Because I remember when she was dating Tyga and everyone was like totally fine. And I think Tyga's like my age. I think he's like 35 or something like that. So that means he was like 20 something when it happened. I was like, that's so ick. Like anyone with underage people and then like your sister, not only do they know, they're promoting it. Like they were always at like the birthday parties with them and stuff like that. I'm like, that to me is like giving weird pimp vibes or something like that. Like she's 16 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember 16. I remember it was like 17. Cause they would be like you said, they would kind of like post about it, but not like, they would post photos like being in the same place. And everyone kind of like knew that they were together, even though they didn't show. And then as soon as she turned 18, like she started posting it.
That's the telltale sign.
Yeah.
Like Dan Cook too with his wife. It's like, oh, we didn't date till she was 18. It's like, okay, well, y'all were like knew each other before, you weirdo. Like either way, if you know someone underage and you're like waiting till they turn 18, you're a creep. Like that's weird.
I remember thinking it was really weird at the time. I was
you
like,
did? I don't remember.
Yeah, especially for like Kylie and Kendall. I think they thought that they were older than they were. Almost like a JoJo situation, where it's like because they're child stars, whatever, and then they have to like get business savvy really quick, so then you kind of feel like they're older than they are.
And like, date someone famous like your sisters and stuff like that. Like it's kind of, I get that too. No, it's very odd. I see a lot of TikTok clips because I swore off watching the Kardashians, but I saw a lot of TikTok clips of people trying to get like Kris wants Khloe and Tristan back together. Her friend Malika wants Khloe and Tristan back together. Like you should, I see them ending up. I'm like, what is this family? Like this is very bizarre. Like it's very weird. And the Kylie thing was weird. And seeing Black China, she's so like well spoken now. She seems like she has like her like life together and she's talking about it. And it's like you really kind of feel for her because she was kind of like getting so much slander from like the Kardashians and stuff like that. And I'm like, God, she probably went through a lot of shit too, with all of that. I love to see like any sort of like growth or whatever like that. Cause so many people don't want to see it. And then like when you see it, also just like physically the way she looks like glowing and just, her fillers out and stuff like that. She just looks like, and the way she speaks, she's very like calm about speaking with it and all stuff like that. Like the way she talks about Rob is very sweet. Like, I don't know. You always like, it was painted to be this type of way. Like she's like this villain or she didn't care about Rob or, also I saw a clip on TikTok of her mom yelling at her. Have you seen that clip?
Oh no.
In the kitchen. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it's from. Maybe it's from like Black China's reality show. It's a while ago. And the mom's just like yelling at her, be like, you ungrateful little bitch. And she's just like, I'm going to rock your world. Touch me again. And then Black China's like, so rock it. Like, it's like this very like tumultuous relationship. And it's like, if that's on camera, like probably what she grew up with her mom growing up. I don't know. I always feel for people like that. And then like to be able to turn your life around and like get it together. And yeah, you had this relationship with Tyga that didn't work out because now he's with this like underage Kylie who's supposed to be like your best friend's sister. And then you know, the stuff with Rob, I don't know what happened there, but obviously like that was like tumultuous and I don't know, it's like the whole thing. And then now seeing the Kardashians with her daughter and stuff like that on TV, I don't know. She says she has a good relationship with them now, which is good, but I like Blac Chyna. I have a soft spot for anyone, like you said, that has like growth, you know, that maybe had a rough past, obviously from her, that situation with her mom. I was like, obviously she had like a rough bringing up and, you know, to make something of herself, I think is pretty good. And then to have these like bad relationships or relationships end anyways, it's always just tough when you have kids.
Yeah.
And then you have different dads you have to deal with. It's a lot. Like, I don't know, that's like a lot. And she looks really great. She seems well-spoken about it. And she seems respectful about it. I'd be a lot more annoyed if my ex was with an underage person. I'd be like, that's disgusting. You're a creep. Yeah. And she's a lot more refined than me, but I guess because she's family, you know, she has to be. Mm-hmm. But I love her. I would love Blac Chyna on the podcast. She's great. Did you read the Britney book?
I started it. I haven't finished it. Did you finish it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, we listened to half of it on audio because we were driving to Santa Monica, so we listened to half of it on audio, which is wild to hear like Michelle Williams. She starts the audio. She has like an intro and maybe like a little bit of the first part. I would have loved to hear Britney's voice in it. Oh man, that would have been so good.
I know. I get it. But also Michelle Williams, I've heard like different snippets and stuff. She really was giving a performance.
Yeah, it was a performance. It was very much giving like we're going to a live reading of this book and stuff like that. And I just feel for her too. So many people like don't. I guess we don't have to go into a deep dive if you didn't read all of it. But it's just like people like don't want her to like. I feel like don't want her to like change or she'll always be like crazy or something like that. I don't know. I mean, now people are rooting for her and I love to see it. But it's just like so many people holding her back in life, including her own family, which is like so twisted when she's always seemed so family oriented. She's always like, I love my family, her mom, her dad. She's always like gone to bat for them. And now you like read the stuff about her and like the money they stole from her and the conservatorship where they try to make her crazy, putting her on lithium. And I think Wendy Williams was right. That's all them. Honestly, that's the one time it works. When she said that, she goes, you had us all fooled, Mrs. Spears. And you too, Mrs. Spears. Death to all of them. And everyone's like, oh. But I'm like, honestly, we don't like, you don't have sympathy for them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He starts getting sick, and it's like, you did this to your daughter. You held her captive. You put her on lithium. You made her, like, go. She talks about her grandmother also, like, being on, like, lithium and, like, ended up unaliving herself. It's just, like, so dark. And the fact that they had that history in their family, and they, like, did that to her.
Yeah.
It's so scary. It's so bizarre. That's when you can't trust anyone. Like Britney, I seriously don't think she can trust anybody in her life ever. Like, how would you ever trust anyone if that's your family?
I know.
And then Sam, obviously, whatever that situation was, he filed for divorce. I'm like, this girl will have no one in her life because so many people like just took advantage of her, used her, obviously the Justin Timberlake stuff. And it's just like, how do you trust anyone? And you just can't. You just like, I don't know, you trust the wrong people, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. The book was so hard to read. It was like, it was good, but it was, oh man, it made me so sad on so many levels, just everything about her life. And, you know, she talks so much about like performances she didn't want to do. And then that she was made to do like the Give Me More one. And I don't know, it's crazy. They just kind of pushed her to do all this stuff. And I don't know, made me sad. How far did you get?
Not very, only a couple chapters in. Just because I've been busy and I haven't had time, but I really need to.
Busy doing what?
Working
imagine. A 9 to 5. She talked about this girl, Robin Greenville, talking about her medical and sexual history to all the guys before she would date them. It was wild. So like any guy she dated, this girl, Robin Greenville, who is it, Lou Taylor, all these people, I'm just like, you're so disgusting. Women doing this to other women, especially when you're like not related. So disgusting. Just saying all this stuff. The lithium one was crazy. After her abortion, they didn't even take her to the hospital. She's on the floor. Justin comes in and starts playing guitar to her. And like she like was in so much pain. She was like in so much trauma from it. They would not take her to a hospital. They did it at her home. She's like shaking on the floor. And then Justin just comes in and starts singing to her as if it was like totally fine. And then breaks up with her in a text. I'm like, this guy is so evil. Everyone's like, oh, he was supposed to make a comeback. You remember he was. I was even excited at VMAs. Oh my God, Justin. Ew, hearing all this, I'm like, he is the villain. And now you look at him and you're like, he is so icky. He looks like a troll. He belongs in the troll movie. It makes me so sad. I'm just like, this little bitch, you know. Same thing with Janet Jackson too. Like, you know, the Super Bowl thing. Everyone blamed Janet. Oh my God, she exposed herself in this thing. It's like Justin did that. Like, how come
he's
Justin?
The one that ripped it.
Yeah,
I know.
And people trying to defend him, like, oh, it's a long time ago. It's like Britney can speak her piece whenever. Like, he constantly trashed her. She said she did talk about Christina and him doing the cover of Rolling Stone and how it felt like, you know, I think was it, or was that a tweet? Maybe that was a tweet. I don't know. I get things mixed up. Like, what's real, what's that? But she talks about just all that stuff. Like, just. These people, these guys in her life, these men in her life. Kevin Federline, she kind of let off the hook pretty easy. She talked about his rap career, and she's like, bless
must
his
be
heart.
for the kids, I'm assuming, right?
Which is great. Which says a lot about Britney, the fact that they took away her kids, and that's why she shaved her head. It's like a lot of people were saying, it's like, if someone took away my kids, I would do a lot more than just like shave my head, you know? She handled all that stuff pretty well, talks about them pretty well, like, you know, talks about Kevin relatively well. Didn't trash him too much, which there probably could be a lot more, but yeah, all that stuff is like crazy. The Give Me More one where people were body shaming her, that was like 1 year postpartum or something like that. Like people were just like so wild to her. And I think it's just like the example of just people, I don't know. She called Jamie Lynn a bitch, which I loved. It's like, hell yeah.
The Britney renaissance right now is like really great to see though. Like Addison Rae with the book, Emma Roberts with the book.
Emma Roberts ripping it over. I love Addison Rae casually reading it. That's
I love it. Very Trisha Cooney. That was very.
We're doing that. We're doing that today. We got to go out and take some pictures of me reading the book. I loved it. And then hiding your face with the book. Addison Rae. What an icon. Honestly, she'll say pop music for sure. Britney saved it once. Addison will do it again. Addison and Britney together. That'd be crazy. I'm an Addison Rae stan. I love her. I think she's so cute.
She is
love
so cute.
everything about her. But yeah, the Britney book was amazing. And my heart goes out to Britney. I love her so much. Oh, and I was asking you if you were busy. Did you see the 9 to 5 girl?
Wait, who?
On TikTok, there was a girl talking about her 9 to 5 job and everyone dragging her for it.
Yes.
And she was talking about like the commute and how it takes her like an hour and a half to get there. And then when she gets home, she doesn't have time for like dinner.
Yeah.
And people kind of dragging her. And I'm like, wait, but the system is flawed and it stays flawed because these people just like get brainwashed by it as if like that should be how it is. Like there's no need to commute anymore. Everyone can work remotely for the most part. Like unless you're like doing unless you're like at the airport fixing planes or something, like it is crazy the amount of people that dragged her. It's like, wow, Gen Z can't handle a job. It's like, no, you have no life. And this is the machine that is the 9 to 5 of people just going and not having time for themselves, just working to live basically. And it's like, it sucks. And I was going to ask you about it because you have a job where sometimes you work remotely, but you also go in sometimes. Thoughts on the night? Because honestly, well, you're just not, is yours 9 to 5 when you go in?
It's 5 to 2.
5 in the morning to 2?
Yeah.
How many hours is that?
9.
Wait, because you get like an hour for lunch or what?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I'm very like pro work from home. Like when we have to go in, I'm very like a brat about it. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go in.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I'm more efficient at home for the most part because in the office there's so many people around. People are walking back and forth. People are singing, like walking around singing songs, playing. Like,
what?
Yes. Like last week, people were singing French 60s pop is what he was saying, like blasting on his phone. And then also just like work-life balance when you have to go in. It's like the commute.
Getting dressed.
Yes. It's a 9-hour job, but then I would say it adds like 3-4 hours to
So it's like 12 hours away from home. 8 hours you're sleeping. What's the math of that?
Literally, it's like, and then you have to cook and then trying to like find time to work out and all this other stuff. It's like, it's impossible.
You don't have time for anything else.
No, it shouldn't have to be like that. You know, like I get we're just like used to it and we feel like, oh, I've gone through, doing all this stuff. So that's just how it is. But I don't think that should be how it is.
It also depends. Like, are you selling insurance and you hate your job? Are you an accountant and you hate your job? Or do you love your job? Maybe if you're an accountant, or do you like love what you do at like a 9 to 5? Like, do you like love? Like, would you say you have like a dream job?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what would be and now because you have a great job, but like, what would be your dream job? Like, if you could get paid $1 million a day to do something like, and you'd like love it so much.
The job really isn't the dream. It's like being able to support my family. Like at least not hating my job, but then having like the family where I put like my love into, if that makes sense.
It's so interesting because that's how I feel too. Like I always thought like if I won the lottery, I'd just be like making music videos for the rest of my life. But I'm like, no, if I won the lottery, I'd be like in Italy and Japan and go to places with my family. You know what I mean? And just like have a big house where everyone can just come to us and we have like parties there and stuff like that. Yeah, because I always thought like, oh, if I win, I can, then I can do music videos, I can do all this stuff like that. But I'm like, no, I just, take care of my family and stuff like that.
Like this stuff I really like because also like this isn't like a big like corporation job. Like the more like smaller stuff is really fun.
Yeah.
And like because you have just more individuality, more creativity, less like a structure that like holds you back, like
right.
To this part, like I love this,
a little shark boy outfit.
Yeah.
No, I feel that way. I feel like I have a dream job, so I get like really, really lucky. Like I'm just like, oh, I love it. Like to me, I would love to work a 9 to 5. I would love to work a 15-hour day, like doing Snow White. You know what I mean? Like I would love to do that if I was like on movies or TV shows. Like I never want that to end. Like when I do music videos, I'm like, oh man, these are so fun. And this too, like I would love, like if it was a talk show, oh my God, I'd be like living my best life, showing up to set, being like, hey guys, like 8 hours, like on the Trish set. So it's like, I love it. But that's why I wondered if you had a job where it's like, if you could be a pop star or something, would you love that? Would you go on tour or something like that? Like
no, like and that's such a boring answer, but no. Because it's like,
yeah, interesting.
You just have people like commenting stuff like that they think is factual and then like that it's not, and it like just being adjacent to it sometimes I'm just like that's not true, but then you can't, if you say anything no one's gonna believe you, so you kind of just have to let people
Yeah, I think at that point, it's like you let people just, I mean, again, I'm on such a smaller scale compared to like Britney Spears, but you just like, people are just going to say whatever anyway, so you just might as well let them. So to me, it like doesn't even bother me because I have such a great job. It's like a dream job. And I always thought that with YouTube. I'm like, God, I have like the best job where I'd like go eat or go shop and like that's your job. You know what I mean? And it is great. And that's me as like influencer. And it's just like, it's so wonderful. So, but then but I have family too that's like really private and they're just like structure. They just like having a 9 to 5 and then they get to go home because the family is the center. And so then they're like, on the weekend they can just shut off as opposed to like on the weekend, we'd be filming or like, think about, I don't know. It's like when I gave birth to, it's like, oh my gosh, we got to be filming this. It's like, so again, dream job, like love it, but it's like on the flip side, it's like, I can't ever just like shut off. You know what I mean? I mean, talking is like the dream job, just literally giving your opinion. That's why I think podcasts are so funny. And I love that people do them because like people just giving their opinions. I'm like, I love it. And hopefully they're getting money. Hopefully they're getting paid by it. But
I know. It is funny though, yeah, because sometimes it's like something about a podcast mic, it just makes it's like such authoritative, so it's like whatever someone with a podcast mic says, it must be true. They must think it's true. And it's so
and they say it with such like
conviction.
Conviction and confidence. And like this is right. And then people are like, oh no, that is not the answer. I know. It's funny. I guess that's why the clips on TikTok are so funny from podcasts because they're like, oh, why'd you say that? And that's the dangerous thing about podcasts because you talk so much. There's like bound to be a clip. Yeah, you're gonna say something silly or stupid.
Especially that's because we have like a rundown. We have an agenda and research, but then a lot of times we just like spitball.
Random. Yeah, just like, oh, here, how about this?
And it's not like we know every single. That's why it's always funny when like I feel like we're pretty well researched, but someone would be like, wow, you got this wrong, like research, and it's like,
wait, what did we get wrong? I feel like we never got anything wrong.
Barb said we got something wrong one time. I guess it was like maybe the Drake Nicki stuff, something like that.
Oh well, we're not Nicki experts.
Yeah, it's like there's only so much like expertise one
You're a pretty expert though. You're pretty like you do know everything about everything.
I try to be like well-rounded, but like there's a lot of like finite, details about something, and like you can only really know if you're like live and breathe that topic,
Right.
So, but yeah, something about a podcast mic, it's so silly.
Podcast, TikTok too. I feel like with TikTok, everybody's an influence, like literally. And again, I always think this is a good thing because like you can make money off TikTok and brand deals. Like there's people who literally have 100,000 followers and it's like their full-time job, but it gets a little out of hand. Did you see the Subway influencer girl?
No.
The Subway TikToker. Oh my gosh, this girl, it was all over my For You page again. The Subway TikTok, and she orders the Subway like twice a week or whatever, and they got her order wrong, and she like went off and she goes, "This is unacceptable. Like Subway, you should sponsor me. Like I eat there every day, and like I was so excited to eat this, and it's like disgusting." She kind of went off, and then like the Subway worker was like, "I just go from like what the receipt is. I know who you are, but like I just thought you wanted something different that day or something." She went off, and then she just did an apology the other day. She's just like, she goes, "Okay guys, like I'm sorry. I was just like really hungry that day." But people like literally will say stuff and just think they have like all the power, like they are the most important thing in the world. Like this Subway sandwich was wrong, and she wanted everyone to know about it. She goes, "Subway, do better. Like your employees and all." She said she went in and apologized to the employees because like the employee was just like, "I was just doing what's off the receipt." Like she goes, "I thought about calling you because she says she is a regular or whatever." And I'm just like, this is so embarrassing that people are really complaining about Subway on TikTok. Just like everyone complaining about stuff on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, this is like embarrassing. Like there are certain things where it's just like, you don't need to go, but because of the influencer world and the podcast world and everyone has an opinion and everyone's important, like that to me is like when I'm like, oh, people need to like tone it back a little bit. You know what I mean? I was just like, this poor Subway employee and Subway and people coming for these companies sometimes people just get so extra, like as if like they know what's going on. I was about to do it with McDonald's the other day, the Squishmallows. They don't have Squishmallows. They don't even have the Boo Baskets anymore. And it was Halloween weekend. And it's like 3 days before Halloween.
I had to do a deep dive on the Squishmallow Happy Meal. It's not in America.
No, but the Halloween ones were.
I thought it was only in the UK is what I read.
Oh wow, that's embarrassing.
I know.
Wait, but I feel like our McDonald's said they sold out. I think they told us they sold out.
No, they specifically said that they had it and they sold
really?
out.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around. It's never in the UK. It's only here.
Yeah.
And when I went as Ice Spice, they told me the next day. Like tomorrow we have them. Yeah. Unless they got that mixed up. But twice now. And yesterday they said they sold out. We need to reach out for comment.
A statement, yeah.
And the Boo Baskets are advertised, the little Boo Buckets. They didn't have that either. They literally gave us, we got 2 Happy Meals yesterday. And they literally gave us Stitch and Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, did you just give us like random toys from the year? And that is on McDonald's. Because I'm sorry, McDonald's, it's just like the movie theaters like AMC. You know you're going to run out of popcorn buckets. Like order enough. You'll sell out the next month. Like order enough for that first month. Like that's wild. It wasn't even Halloween. It was 3 days away. And we brought Malibu with us because we thought we were going to get a cute Squishmallow or something exciting for her. She did like the Stitch in all fairness, but I was so annoyed. And honestly, McDonald's is a snack. Anyone who says McDonald's is unhealthy or it's a meal, it's a snack because we were starving an hour later, and I'm
it's
like,
not a meal.
oh my God.
The guy at the window, he was so starstruck, he got everything wrong.
That's the worst, is when you get someone who's excited to see you, but they keep messing everything up. And I'm just like someone who doesn't want, I wasn't going to even get the fries. He forgot the fries too. And I was like, it's fine. We got fries in the Happy Meal. I was like, I was like, oh, like I hate saying it because he forgot your whole meal first. He's like, we're waiting on the water.
It's like, I think it's supposed to be another bag. It's like, oh yeah, it's another bag.
Then there was no fries. I'm like, but there was a drink, so I know he got the meal. I was like, but I think I feel so bad. But when people get excited, they like forget.
Get all flustered.
Yeah. And I usually am one of those people who like doesn't say anything. If it was just me, I would have just been like, it's fine, I don't need it. You know what I mean? But I was like, well, we didn't have much food to begin with. So, but that in that case, I blame McDonald's. So McDonald's, like, that was so annoying because I was like, at least have festive toys or whatever for the season. We did go everywhere to look for them. But I think they had the Squishmallow Halloween here. Anyways, that's what they had told us, that it was sold out. It was sold out in Agora Hills, all this like that. So,
oh my God, what is the truth? Now this is a mystery.
Well, now Halloween's over, so I feel like after today, they're gonna not even care. I wonder what the next toy is gonna be.
I don't know. I'm still gonna be on the hunt for these little Squishmallows. Just now, when I can't have something, it makes me like want it more.
Yeah, but I feel like after Halloween, like November 1st is like, ew, like anything Halloween, skeleton, get the skeleton away, get the pun. Like, I don't know what it is. I am one of those people, like November 1st, like it's kind of like after Christmas too, like the day after Christmas, I'm like, take it all down. I don't know. I don't want to like bask in it we did have our Christmas tree up since like Valentine's Day, but it's just more of like laziness. But I don't like spooky stuff after it's over. So even after today, I'm like, okay, it's over, it's done. That's why I like to do the build up to Halloween and then the actual
really
day.
Go big, yeah.
Are you doing anything tonight? Are you going anywhere for Halloween?
No, I'm not really big, especially on a Tuesday. I learned from Horror Nights because I was on a Wednesday last week, and now I'm like, I can't do like a weekday festivity. I don't think. I think I'm like a cozy, like a stay home,
a night in.
Yeah, I don't think. What about you?
Just trick or treating. We're being Cinderella, and the one thing that humbles you as a parent is having to be the ugly. Well, I guess she's not ugly. The fairy godmother. She's not ugly.
Oh,
She's just old and fat.
Oh my God.
Me. But it's like I've talked about this before. I hate when parents make their kid be like Flounder or like the chameleon from Rapunzel, while the mom gets to be Rapunzel.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, they get to be like the little chameleon. The kid's the chameleon, and the mom's like Rapunzel. And I'm like, no, like let your daughter be the princess. So my daughter's Cinderella. He'll be Prince Charming, and I'll be the fairy godmother. So
that's really cute.
Yeah, and even last year he was Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, and then I was just like a random stormtrooper. I don't even like. I guess I'll be this character.
You were sexy. Storm.
Thank you. I just was trying to fit in with you guys, but sometimes you forget as like a mom. You're like, oh, the daddy daughter needs moments too. So I like, you guys can be Mandalorian, Baby Yoda. I'll just be like a random. And today too, they'll be Prince Charming and Cinderella, and I'll be the godmother.
At least not like the rat or something like James Corden. Like that would be bad.
I could be Gus Gus. I totally could be a Gus Gus. That would be James Corden living my dream. I think we talked about this last time, how he literally is my dream job, and he had you remember how I said that Weekend doesn't do any interviews?
He
did a whole skit with James Corden for the Super Bowl, and James Corden came dressed as the Weekend, and he was like throwing footballs at him and stuff, and like the Weekend's like singing, and it was like this whole skit they did.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was chaotic and it was wild, and you could tell the Weekend was not having it. It was very unserious, and the Weekend was just like very unserious about it too. But I was like,
oh my God,
how did that happen? I guess because he did the Super Bowl. It was for the Super Bowl, and James was on CBS, so I guess that's how it works.
Yeah,
but
it must have been a network thing. But
I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm living my dream. Did we book Troye Sivan yet?
No.
Oh my God.
Tell your friend Zach to do it. Zach is the one with the freaking connection.
No, Zach's like, I'll help you book guests.
Zach, where's
Ariana?
So Hailey Bieber is once again in the news, and this time I'm kind of pro Hailey Bieber. Usually I'm not really on the girl's side.
Are you not? I thought you'd love Hailey. No.
No. I'm just very team Selena, so that stuff made me turn. But I'm turning a page. I'm trying to be open minded towards Hailey Bieber.
Okay.
But she did talk about how people have made fun of the fact that her and Justin Bieber are always dressed very differently.
Yes, this is like the Halloween costume of the year, I feel.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too.
Yeah, which is cute. I like it. I'm there for it.
Yeah, with Justin, when he goes out, he's often in like sweatpants. Mm-hmm. Well, interesting style choices that he's making.
I love it. It's very Adam Sandler, Gen Z.
It is very Adam Sandler coded. Yeah. I didn't even put that together until you said that.
I love rich people doing that because it's just like, F you, I have so much. That would so be me. I love going out in sweatpants. I love going out completely ugly. I'm for it. I went out to Mastro's no makeup. I'm like, this is the vibe.
Yeah, it became like the biggest meme ever. Them dressing like they're going to two completely different places, and then she finally talked about it in GQ, saying that it would be silly if they like try to coordinate their outfits for when they went out, and they just wear what they want to wear when they go out. She kind of defended their choice.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of here for it. I'm like, wear what you want to wear.
It'd be comfortable, especially someone like Justin Bieber, like who's probably just so over being like objectified or girls coming up to him or anything. He's probably like, I just want to be like low key, comfortable. Being comfortable is like the best. Hailey Bieber looks so good. Her body looks so good, but I'm just like heels. All of that is just like so uncomfortable. And like when you go out to eat, you want to eat. Like bring the eating pans. I'm here for it too. She said something else in that GQ magazine. I was gonna make a note of it. She said something else.
She talked about like people speculating about her pregnancy, like if she's pregnant.
Oh yeah, and she was like,
the internet would be the last to know if I was pregnant because she wanted to like keep it as private as possible. Which again, I respect too.
Totally, yeah. And like people, the people when they like clickbait pregnancy and stuff like, I'm just like, okay, like pregnancy is like such a serious thing. And like you said, Jennifer Lawrence keeps it low key, and it is such a time. Like Kylie too. Like you just want to like a lot of people want to keep it. I get excited because I share my life online, so I like love to share when I'm pregnant and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people like it's like such a intimate thing in like, I don't know, you don't want the whole world like judging you, casting evil eye, all that stuff like that, like before they even know the baby, which is the Paris Hilton thing we were going to talk about. But like, yeah, people, and Paris kept it low key too. Before she had the baby, no one knew. All of a sudden, she had a baby, and she said that she's like, I didn't want the world like judging my baby before the baby was here. You know what I mean? Which is true. I loved sharing my pregnancy until like the very end, and everyone thought I was like a Queen Elizabeth. And like at the time, I was like mortified. I was like, that's so mean. Like you're putting this on a baby, and you're putting this on like she's gonna be this evil queen or whatever. Like it was gnarly like in the moment. So I totally get it. And like with the Biebers, I mean. It is, I guess, just human nature. You're like married for a while. You're like, when are you gonna have a baby? And you're like young, but I get it. I get not wanting to share it. I feel like they kind of step back from them though. You don't hear about them too much, like other than like them dressing differently. It's like, okay, is that the news? Which I think they probably love. They probably like that they're more low key.
I think, especially Justin. I think because he's had different. I mean, I've never been like a Justin Bieber girl, and he's been a little shady, but I think he's had like, some illnesses and stuff too. So he's had to like focus on himself, which I think is good. And
what's wrong with him?
I forget what it was, but he talked about how like half of his face was paralyzed.
Maybe he had like a stroke or something.
I forget what it was. And even Hailey, she had like a blood clot scare.
Oh my God.
So they've had medical scares and stuff. So
they're so young. This is why you shouldn't judge books by their cover, because they look super healthy and fit. And then people always do that with me too, just because like I'm fat. They're trying to be like, oh, like I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. It's like, you don't know shit. Like, you know what I mean?
You don't know anyone's health. Yeah.
Yeah, I never had, not to say it's like what bad, but I was like, I never had a blood clot, but people probably look at me and think like, oh my God, she's gonna die. Or I hate when people use that as an excuse, like, oh my God, you're gonna die so young. It's like, okay, what? Like,
most people are crazy because that's not the
I know, like don't, like you look at Justin Bieber, he looks so healthy to me. I would never even think that. So don't judge a book by its cover. That's so sad. Oh my God, is he like okay? Or
I think he's doing better I mean, he's out. He was just at a Halloween party last night, so I think he's doing better.
Who's a Halloween party?
It was the Casamigos Halloween party last night.
Must have lost our invite in the mail to that one.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed Austin Butler and Kaya Gerber were there.
As what? What were they dressed as? I didn't see.
Andy Warhol and Edie Sedgwick.
He was Andy Warhol?
He was Andy Warhol, yeah.
I like when they gender flip. I wish they would like do that more often.
That would have been
I really wish we could have gender flipped
for
this.
Who did was Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. Well, Machine Gun Kelly did. He was the bride from Kill Bill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who was she?
I forgot her name.
Go-Go.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
So that was cute.
But she wasn't a man. She should have been like Bill.
That would have actually been pretty funny.
Oh my God, that would have been so. I love a gender swap moment. Oh my God, he could be Troye Sivan actually. Machine Gun Kelly kind of looks like Troye Sivan. The one of your girls. I've seen so many people on TikTok doing that transition, like "Call me up, Bobby one," and they do the. I think KULLEN did it. He wasn't dressed as Troye Sivan, but he was dressed as like
Georgia.
It was beautiful. I was like, oh man, I love a gender swap moment. Moses never wants to do it with me. You don't want to do it with me. I'm like, oh man, the men in my life don't want to gender swap. Is that your thing? You don't love a wig?
I like wearing. I would. I mean, after last week with the Dumbledore.
They love that. You were feeling your hair.
Now that I have that experience, I definitely think I'm down. I just couldn't do it myself because I'm bad at it. But I would be down for it.
I love it. You could be Troye Sivan in the music video. I'll be Ross Lynch. I just love being a boy. Although, like, the episode I was a boy where I was the Weeknd, I felt like I was negative. I wanted to do the Weeknd again next week with the bandages, because that's how James Corden came in. He came in with all the bandages, and I was like, oh, man, that'd be such a sick costume. But last time I was negative Nancy as Abel, so I'll just save that. Ah, man. God, I really want him on the podcast. I just want to do, like, 2 hours of the Idol. Anyways.
Just 2.
Just 2. Maybe 3, 4, honestly, if we can get them that long.
Oh, Paris Hilton was at that party too, and she was Britney Spears in the Toxic video.
Yeah, she looks so good.
Yeah, Jessica Alba was also... yeah.
Wow.
She wore like the crystal bodysuit, Britney.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I love that everyone's doing Britney.
The Britney Renaissance.
I think what won for me for Halloween, and this is very random and obscure, but this is the Quentin Tarantino girl in me, is Kim Petras as Cherry Darling from Grindhouse.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Grindhouse is so obscure. It's the 2007 movie. Fun fact. Okay, fun fact. I was Grindhouse Barbie on MySpace. That was my name. That's how I met Eli Roth. That's how I met Quentin Tarantino. This is 2007 when Grindhouse was coming out. It was like probably the biggest like flop of his movies. It was like a double feature with Robert Rodriguez, and they had fake trailers in there. And one of the fake trailers was Thanksgiving, directed by Eli Roth and written by my friend Jeff Rendell. And now that movie, 16 years later, is becoming a real movie, but it was a fake trailer in the middle of this double feature, and now it became like a real movie, and it was called Grindhouse. And no one knows this film. No one ever talks about it, and it was considered kind of a flop for Quentin, but so good. And then Kim Petras went as Cherry Darling, who is a stripper played by Rose McGowan with a machine gun leg, and it's such a cool one she did. She did like a video with it too. I was like, I don't know how she did it. She must have done like green screen on the leg or something, but I actually love Kim Petras too. I used to fight it for so long because people would compare me to Kim Petras. I have no idea why. People would be like, "Oh, it's giving Kim Petras," and I was like, "What?" Okay. Anyways, it was a while ago when she first started. Now she's huge, like so famous and so big. But I love her. They were playing her at the magazine shoot I was at, but I was like, oh man, she won Halloween for me. Any like random obscure Quentin Tarantino reference, I'm like here for. And Quentin actually interacts with that character in the movie Cherry Darling, and I was like, this is iconic. It was so good. I love random costumes. Who won Halloween for you this year?
I hate to say it. I think Courtney.
Oh,
Courtney,
that was good.
Courtney dressed as Kim.
The Met Gala Kim.
Pregnant Kim from the 2013 Met Gala.
Yeah, that was
She
iconic.
kind of ate that one thing. She really did.
She did. And I love that she did that, because they're so like Kim
butt
versus
heads,
Courtney.
yeah.
And I love that she like went into the iconicness of Kim.
That's really funny.
That made me like Courtney again.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're funny.
Yeah. How is she still pregnant though? I swear she should have had her baby like in September. Like I feel like she announced it so long ago.
I know.
I wonder what she's gonna have. Maybe a Christmas Day. Oh, both of her boys were born December 18th. So maybe she can have another December 18th baby. That's wild
that would
to me.
Be amazing.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
That's a lot. Oh my god, 3 birthdays one day.
Yeah, December 18th is a good day. That's the day we got engaged. I like that birthday. We were trying to get married on that day, but that day was like booked and busy. But yeah, I love it. Yeah, Halloween was good. I love celebrity Halloween costumes. I love when people dress as celebrities and they go all out. I think it's great.
Me too.
I love it.
Heidi Klum's is gonna be. Hers is tonight when this comes out, so that'll be the big one.
We'll recap it next week.
November. But
Moses' fantasy is the Heidi Klum worm over there. That's all you thought about. I was like, okay, Heidi Klum worm. Love that so much.
Speaking of Paris, I love my little transitions. Like me clinging on. Me clinging on to any little
That's why
transition
you're so
can.
good at it. This is your calling.
Paris Hilton addressed all the memes and comments about the size of her baby's head.
Oh my God.
Which was sad. Like, basically, she posted a photo of her holding her baby.
Who's like the most cutest thing ever, Phoenix. Like, so cute.
So cute.
And she's pretty private with him for the most part. She doesn't show a lot of photos. So, like, when you get a photo, you're like so excited about it.
Her baby instantly became like me. I know on Twitter/X, a lot of people were making all these like jokes, quote tweeting, talking about the size of his head, which is like, there's some things like there are comments that you can think, but they're comments that you shouldn't put into writing and post on a public platform or speak out loud. Like, See
you in hell. Like, honestly, see you in hell. If you're talking about a baby, and also it's like the jokes and stuff like that, but then there were people like trying to diagnose it. That's like my biggest thing is like when people try to diagnose, like, he has like syphilis. I don't know what it was. Like, just whatever. And I'm just like, you have something wrong with you. You're like a grown adult, like talking about this baby that like, what? And there was so many bad comments, like so many mean comments for no reason. It's like, yeah, if you're joking about a baby, you have some serious issues. Like there's something seriously wrong with you. And Paris addressed it.
Paris responded on TikTok and she said, there are some sick people in this world. My angel is perfectly healthy. And yes, of course, he has been to a doctor. He just has a large brain. Oh. She later posted on her Instagram story that the comments were hateful and unacceptable. She said, living life in the spotlight, comments are inevitable, but targeting my child or anyone else's for that matter is unacceptable. This hurts my heart more deeply than words can describe. I've worked hard to cultivate an environment that is all about love, respect, and acceptance, and I expect the same in return. I mean, that's hard to like disagree with. You know,
Totally.
like,
No, it's 100% real. It's like babies don't choose when they're born, who they're born to. The fact that she didn't even explain herself, like that he has like a large brain, or it's like, it's so ick, like that people, like it's a baby. Like it's a baby. They change so much. Things change so much. It's like, you know, whether it's like normal or not, it doesn't matter. Like people are just people did that to me too when I had Malibu. They're like, oh, like they talk about her birthmark or something like that. I'm like, y'all are so weird. Or that I photoshopped her birthmark or something like that. And now it's like the skin is stretching, so the birthmark's disappearing. I'm like, people are wild. Like the first thing comes out is like, oh, she has like a birthmark. She has this. It's like, y'all are crazy. Like it's a baby. Like it's crazy. And it makes you like not want to share it either. You're just like, and she said that, I think Paris Hilton also said, she's like, you know, if I don't post him, I'm a bad mom. I never see him. And if I post him, then people like ridicule him. And that is true. It's like, if you're not with your kids, everyone's like, where's your kids? And where is this and that? And then if you post them, then like, wow, you're using your baby for clout or whatever like that. It's just, it's so, when I had my baby, I got attacked so much because they're like, someone called her a prop and they're like, that baby's a prop in a video. I'm like, your whole life is that baby for the first like literally, well, days, but also weeks and stuff like that. There's nothing else there is. And it's like, that's all that's going on in your life. And it's like, you're so proud. You just birthed a human being. Like, of course you want to show it. Like people are wild. And if you like, again, if you talk about a baby, you're weird. Like, I mean, I feel like even weird talking about it now because it's like, they show it and you just accept it or appreciate it for what it is, but to like exploit it, talk about it, all this stuff, like that's like so bizarre to me that people do that. It's like, what is your life? And that's on them. It's like, is your life so like do you have nothing going on in your life that you're talking about a baby? And it's also worse when there's like moms talking about it or other people that have babies. I'm like, go be with your children. That's one where it's like, go be with your children. Like you have kids, like go take care of them. Like go, like let me see your perfect child. You know what I mean? And that baby's gorgeous, that perfect baby. And I feel like people are so jealous because this baby is like gonna have the best life ever. And so people just want to like hate in some way to bring the baby down. Like there's literally nothing wrong with that baby. You can't tell from a photo if there's something wrong with the baby.
Yeah, the diagnosing of anything, it's like just kind of mind your business. That's what I'm saying. Like you can think things, whatever, but not everything has to be typed out, posted.
Yeah.
You know, like it just, why? Like what is the point?
And if there is something like abnormal or something like that, it's like, also, why would you point that out? You know what I mean? That's what you can see from a photo. But if there is something wrong with someone or there's some like disease or something, like you're going to point that out. You're going to be an asshole and point it out. Like, you know what I mean?
And
like,
also, I think Paris Hilton's baby will have access to like the best healthcare. Like healthcare is very expensive. Paris Hilton can afford to take care of her baby.
I know.
If anything was ever wrong with her baby, she would be the first one. Literally, be the first one to know. People just be
mean. The people who go under guys like, oh, I'm worried for the baby, or there might be something wrong with that baby. Like, there's nothing like that. That's just someone you
don't
mean.
actually care about the baby. You just like want to seem like
If anything, you're the opposite of caring about the baby. Like obviously that baby has parents and like doctors, stuff like that. Like that's what's so weird. That's what I don't like about the internet, because it's like everybody wants to like share their baby. Like a lot of people do, and then people like ruin it because they have to be like assholes. They have to just be assholes for no reason. And it's like with Paris too, I'm just like, wow, that was so out of left. I'm glad, like it's just sad that she had to respond to that. Like that makes me so sad. It's sad that she sees it too, because I think a lot of people maybe think she won't see it or something like that. But there was so much of it, especially like on X. But actually like ban that stuff. Like if you're like commenting under a baby photo, I think babies in general should be out of thumbnails, should be out of like X, any of those things that like the parent doesn't post on. This was my issue too with like Reddit, is like when people would like repost my baby, even if they like blur it, it's like I don't consent for my baby to be on Reddit. Like I consent for my baby to be on my social medias, but not any other use, like not on thumbnails or anything like that. I think that's like so wrong and tacky too. It's like all of it. But also just like when people bring in someone else's baby into this conversation period is like just weird. It's like, just leave the babies out of it. They're literally doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. To comment on anything like, oh, you're a bad mom, you don't do enough. I feel like, I don't know, people get weirdly harassing babies to make them feel powerful or something. I don't know. It's very
really weird.
Yeah. I don't like it. I feel bad for Paris. I do feel bad. But she's another one that I admire for being out. Like, how do you have the energy and time to like go out to a Halloween party? Like, I'm so tired. Like, I dress up to go take pictures and then that's it. And then go to bed. But I think a lot of people do that. I think Tana, before she came on our podcast, said that. She said she went out to do Jennifer's Body and came home and just like slept after. And I was like, I love that.
I feel like we can't go past this episode though with at least talking a little bit about everything that has happened with Rosanna and MrBeast since
my God. I feel like we broke a story that I didn't even know we were breaking.
Journalists.
Seriously, okay. The only reason I want to like touch on this, because I know like it kind of like snowballed, and I wasn't even aware. Even when we were talking about it, like it's such a weird thing when you're interviewing someone. Like you don't really I was like listening and I was just kind of like shocked by the whole thing. I'm kind of like trying to process everything, right? You're kind of shocked. You don't know what you're hearing. Rosanna's also very non-controversial, she obviously hasn't talked about it for a while. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm glad she felt comfortable enough to share all this stuff like that. And it is one of those things where you're just like, what? Like, what happened? And then since that stuff has come out, like Quackity was also second place, that it's obviously very real that he edited this up. But then you're like, kind of like, why? And the authenticity of it and stuff like that. It's very bizarre. I guess he did DM her. I guess he reached out and DM her. She shared the DMs and stuff like that. So it seemed like maybe he was trying to like make it right or something like that, or at least talk about it. I haven't talked to her since, because I know like when this stuff happens, I don't know if she's like overwhelmed. You know, like for me too, when like you blow up, sometimes you're like, okay, it's good, it's getting traction and being talked about. Or sometimes you're like, oh my God, this got way bigger than I expected. And usually I'm the latter. I'm like, and then I feel some sort of responsibility because it was on our show. So I was like, oh my God, should we have not put it as a thumbnail? Should it have been, thing? I'm glad she's like getting support, because I think at the end of the day, she is someone, she talks about like, she got pushed around a lot, or she just felt silenced a lot, or she didn't want to be difficult to work with. So I mean, I like that she wanted to speak out. I think MrBeast, we can cut this out if you want, but I don't know. Did you share your MrBeast story?
Oh,
did it air or did you cut it?
Yeah, no, I aired it. That's what I remember, because I never talked, because when you were telling Zach.
Oh yeah, I tell everyone your story, and I was like, did this come out? What did I say? Did I get it wrong? Probably.
No, you got it pretty much right. Well,
what?
The funniest part is like, I heard it's a cult. Someone told me.
Is that how you described it though? No, you didn't use the word.
I was like, no, I don't know if it's
the compound. You had a compound.
It was the compound is real. Yes,
you went to the MrBeast compound.
No,
oh wait, what? You zoomed?
I just interviewed. I zoomed with someone.
And they said you had to live at the compound.
Yes.
Okay, so I got that part right.
Yes, no, you're right about it.
Yeah. Well, apparently, and then other people had been coming to me, and I guess I can offer the pink couch for someone who it's going to be red table talk over here if you want to come on the pink couch. But people have told me stories I can't verify. I mean, it's all alleged that MrBeast, like he doesn't allow his people to get pregnant. He won't hire pregnant, which is a whole other thing, because like allegedly, of course, yes, allegedly. But like these people, I've heard that on like multiple accounts now, allegedly, and I'm just like, well, I mean, that's a whole other thing, because that's obviously like illegal. You can't tell someone they can't get pregnant, or if they get pregnant, you can't fire them. So, but he like doesn't want. So, you hear these stories and you hear so many of them, and not that yours was like bad, but like, oh, you have to go live on this compound. Like that seems like a lot. You know what I mean? It's like this whole thing. So I was kind of on this like MrBeast, like, I don't know. I guess the point is like, we talked about this on the show too, is like not everything is like what it seems, right? Like people, there's that controversy that he gives money away, but he kind of makes people do like humiliating tasks to get it. He kind of, stuff that whatever, like just give them the money if you want to be like nice, you know what I mean? Then it's not entertainment, of course. But with the Rosanna one, what kind of, and like I couldn't process it at the time. Like I'm trying to think about this. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? It's like, I still kind of understand like, if it's all for like charity and fun and she's a big influencer, it's like, why edit that out? Why edit Quackity out? Like, why give a different top three? It's so bizarre. Like, just it's for fun. And Rosanna made a point too, like, it is money being raised for like charity. So it's like, her community that she was raising it for could have like helped and stuff like that. But there's definitely two sides. People are very divided on this. It's like one hand is like, oh my gosh, like let it go, and I'm like, okay, let the girl, like let her tell her story and stuff like that. This is the reason she didn't want to speak out, is because so many people were like attacking. And on the other hand, it's also just really unethical, I feel, of MrBeast to like ask content creators to like do this thing and then just like not put you in the edit and stuff, or at least not tell you, not give you like a heads up about it. I don't know. It would make me, honestly, it would make me feel some type of way. Probably in the moment it came out, I'd be like, what? This is not how it happened. I guess Quackity has come out. This is my first time hearing about Quackity, but now I see him everywhere. Yeah. Quackity came out like a while ago and talked about it too, but MrBeast didn't address it then. But now it seems like he wants to address it now that Rosanna's telling her story. I don't know. That's the last I heard about it. I don't know. And I haven't really like communicated much other than like, hope you're okay. Cause I just, I never want it to blow up in like a bad way. You know what I mean? We gave him the episode to review beforehand, which I would do for anyone. If guests ask, I always will. I'll cut anything out too. I'll always cut things out if people don't want. So, yeah, maybe they didn't expect it to be so big too, because it's one of those stories you hear and you're like, oh my gosh, and then I think the people who just don't like MrBeast will find a way to. But I think she was very like neutral about it, like not wanting to like take him down, just kind of more tell her story, the Britney, perspective of it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was nice that I'm surprised he even like acknowledged and reached out to her. You know what I mean? So I don't know what goes on from there.
Same.
But like that's surprising because he is such a big entity, and
I didn't expect it to be like a huge like thing. Like I don't know. like obviously he posted it, and then I thought it was like interesting too, just because it's like Mr. Beast is such a big creator. If Mr. Beast video is gonna do well, like regardless of like who the top 3 is, so, like what's the point of like trying to like craft a narrative with like the specific creators that he chose to be like in the top? But I definitely got way bigger than that.
I know. It's so random. And it's also like, I only knew Logan Paul. The other 2 I didn't know. And it's not no shade to them, but I'm just like, okay, so you replaced like someone that everyone knew, Rosanna. Because honestly, for me too, it's like, again, is it like the biggest thing in the world? It's like, to her, it's her story. And she did feel like some type of way. She wanted to tell this type of story, of course. But everyone's like saying just because it's not, like Israeli-Palestine conflict, then it shouldn't be like acknowledged. Like she shouldn't have feelings about it or whatever. Like I get it. There's like more serious things in the world. But also for me, just as a person, it would have been nice to just see how it played out. Like seeing Rosanna beat like Logan Paul, like, you know what I mean? Like, so she has a lot of fans. I think for her too, it's like a personal accomplishment, as she said. She's like, I beat Logan, which is like a huge thing. Like he's the greatest athlete in the world right now. And it's like, it is so bizarre. I don't know. Do you think he'll address it publicly? Like, aside from the DMs that came out, but do you think he'll address it publicly?
Like I said, it just got way bigger than I ever thought because I didn't expect him to say anything. Even when I was talking to people who like watch Mr. Beast, they were like, "Oh, that sucks," but he's probably not going to say anything. Definitely not.
Yeah, the David Dobrik approach. Don't say nothing.
Yeah, but it's honestly taking like a life of its own. It's becoming this big thing. So I feel like eventually he might. I don't know. I really am puzzled, and I don't know much about Mr. I mean, I applied to work there, and I didn't really watch. I had to study beforehand.
Did you meet him? Did you study?
I just studied so I would know examples. So I had not seen a Mr. Beast video before I did the interview. Like, they just like reached out to like apply and do the interview.
They reached out to you?
Yeah, from like LinkedIn.
Oh my God. What was it to do? Is like socials?
To be a producer. It was like he just was hiring like a new team of producers.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, everyone knows Mr. Beast, like, of course.
Yeah.
I just like quickly realized like it wasn't for me because
yeah. Like I'm not gonna go to the compound.
Yeah, but I will say, I mean, that element, I guess, like for someone who is a fan of his and like wants to, at least he like relocates you and like gives you a furnished townhouse. So I guess that's like the cool
on this
aspect.
compound. So it's like this whole property.
I guess.
Is it gated? Are they like gated in this property?
Idea. I just know he like owns it. Like it's all like everyone, like they're neighbors, like your coworker is.
Well, that sounds exciting. It also sounds a little controlling. Like you want all your employees to be under like your house, your furnished, like you own it. Like
there might be, I don't know, like that's like the in fairness, like that's all I know for like relocating there. I don't know, like if eventually like, you set up your own roots there, you move and you get your own place. God. I'm sure that's probably an option, but
I think that's wild. I don't know any company like that like he owns the place and you're going to live in that place. Like usually people will pay like a relocation fee or like, something like that, but
it is wild.
I mean, my gut, and this is before the Rosanna thing, you guys know I've been talking about that. I'm like, my gut is like, something's up with Mr.
You've
Beast.
always
but
been skeptical.
I've always been a little skeptical. And like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like not with this certain thing. But they always, like, a couple years go by and be like, Trish knew. And I do. I have a weird sixth sense about these things. And I don't know. It just always was a little like weird how big. But I don't know. Look, Mr. Beast don't come to me. His Feastables DM'd me like a while ago. And they're like, do you want to try his Feastables? And I was like, no.
He said no? Oh.
No. Because they kept DMing me. And I was like, I don't want these. Because of the Keith Lee thing where he was like mad that he gave him like a not great review. Like it wasn't like a glowing review. And I was like, there's always just a little something. And I'm just like, I don't know about this. But I think when you're so big, like Mr. Beast and stuff like that, which is kind of, I think, the most shocking thing that Rosanna's also a big creator. So I think for her to have this like negative experience that she felt like she just needed to say and wanted to say. And I think like there's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it does snowball into a certain thing. And then you kind of don't know what to do, or, people. There's a lot. The misogyny showed. A lot of people were like, it's not misogynistic. Quackity was also exited out. But I think there's a misogyny show because there's so many guys being like, she just needs to get over it. Like, what's the big deal? Oh my God, cancel him for that. And again, it's not, I don't think she was like, cancel him for this. I think she was just like, this is like my story. And I knowing her personally and just like hearing other stories that she's told me personally just about so many people who like influencers and stuff too that are just like taken advantage of or something like that. And because she is so sweet. So, yeah, it's wild. It'll be interesting. Again, I don't think it was her thing to be like, cancel Mr. B. I think she's just like telling her story and people took it as like, oh my God, she's trying to cancel. It's like a girl saying something doesn't mean you need to cancel that person. She's just like saying, this is my story. I wanted to get it out there. And it's a big accomplishment. And Mr. Beast video is a big deal. People are like, it's not a big deal. It's like, it's a big deal. They were playing for money. She beat Logan. I mean, I'd be talking about that all day long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously it's real. Like she said, she has like clips and stuff like that, but obviously it's real. Like she's not going to make it up. Like,
it's such like a specific thing.
It's such a specific thing that so many people were involved with and were around and would know this story. Like,
yeah.
The Josh Peck Twilight we're questioning. We got to see those receipts. Where's the screen test? But Just kidding. I love you, Josh. But yeah. Yeah. Well, we need to stop breaking stories here. We need to be the ones that just go along. I don't like to be the breaking story.
Is a lot of pressure. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. And then, I just immediately was like, oh, do I reach out? I don't know what to do. Because you don't know. You're just like, I don't know.
Even when she was telling the story, it's funny because when I was editing it, like I could see your face kind of like process and like try to understand like.
Yeah. Because, she's so sweet and so not, and I don't want to be the one, because this is my curse. I think every time I go on someone else's podcast, it's like the person gets in trouble when I'm like, when I did the Meghan Trainor, whenever, it's like everyone else gets in trouble for saying something when I'm around, and I'm like, gosh, let me not try to get people canceled. So not that she said anything problematic, but you just think like, I try, if people want to keep it lighthearted, I do. I always say like, we don't have to talk about, if Ariana wants to come on, we don't have to talk about Ethan Slater leaving the divorce. Did you see that? The divorce hearing? Looking like, why did you not dress up for the divorce hearing? Gosh, he looks like SpongeBob too. He looks like SpongeBob when he's little giggle, like his little smile coming out of the thing. I'm like, he's SpongeBob. That's like a Halloween costume of the year, Ariana Grande and SpongeBob. But I'll have Ethan Slater on here too. No, Ariana Grande. We don't want Ethan. We'll take Ariana. But gosh, man, I know sometimes. Yeah.
No, it is scary. Even though it was like, I mean, I literally don't know. I just know like he's number one and like how many subscribers, how many views he gets,
right.
And even like. I was like scared to post that last week. I was like, even saying my stuff, I'm like scared to say I interviewed. I'm like, oh my God, he is. There's something weird. Like, I don't really get intimidated
scared
by many, but something about him is kind of intimidating just because he's so like just so big.
His
like,
compound's going to come for you.
I know.
Like, get Oscar.
If I go missing, look at the compound. You have to investigate.
Could you imagine if you were a MrBeast producer and now you're here at Just Trish producing?
Imagine if I like actually got that job and like was working there.
That would be
a gag.
Oh my God, go undercover. Go back and interview. Say, I'll take that compound with all the furnishing. Give me the Feastables.
I was quickly eliminated from that. The running of that job. I did not. The interview was bad. I was not a good fit at all.
I want to see the people who work with MrBeast. I want to see the females.
Actually, it was a girl.
MrBeast.
The girl who I got interviewed by a girl.
Okay.
So I will say that. I mean, I don't know.
Did she look pregnant?
From what I know.
You ask
but
her?
It was just her face. So.
Watch you hire, like the next one is just like all pregnant women in this video or something like that. I like when people flip like that though, when people like think someone's some way and then they like try to add more like women into the thing, because I think that's important, the diversity of all of it, add more people to it. It's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Like anything, it'll get resolved, and even over time, everything works itself out. If MrBeast is the villain, it comes out Justin Timberlake, maybe it's like 20 years later or something like that. If it's just another, flash in the pan or whatever, like it's whatever. Not that MrBeast flash. He could be a flash in the pan. To me, I don't know. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype of MrBeast. He is a flash in the pan to me. I'm like, well, we'll probably forget about him, like in a couple of years.
I don't know. He's really popular.
I mean, I don't know. My bet's no. We're gonna 3 years. We won't know. I mean, he's probably going to be rich and he's fine. He's going to live in a compound on his own. But I just think, like, he's just not going to be. It's like David. Like, I'm sure he's around making money, but you just, like, never hear about him. Like,
I see what you mean.
And he was so massive. You just thought, like, oh, he's going to blow up. He wanted his own talk show. I have my own talk show now. Remember, he really did. That was his dream. David's dream was to be, like, a late night talk show host, which was like, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I was telling Moses about this, like, what? And I was like, yeah, like, because he did views with a microphone, too. I feel like this is what we do when we want a TV show.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he really
was
did.
Doing, like, meetings at NBC and stuff.
Which would have been, I'm actually surprised he didn't get it. Like Lily got it and stuff like that. Like I'm kind of surprised he didn't, but I don't know. He's just not good. Like anyways, it's the whole thing. But he was never good at like interviewing people. The views towards the end was like literally like 10-minute increments of different people, different interviews. I think the D'Amelios like quit halfway through. They like just, did you ever see it?
No.
They had them on and it just stops like after 20 minutes. And he's like, they had to go. And I was like, what?
It's probably the worst interview I've ever seen.
That was so, anyways. But what I'm saying is he probably makes $1 million off Snapchat doing just fine, obviously. But you don't hear about him, And I think that's going to be MrBeast. I have a feeling, you know what I mean? It's just like maybe nothing bad happens or nothing bad happens to him or whatever, but it's like.
We'll just run into him at horror nights.
I wonder if MrBeast goes to those things. Does anyone ever see him out in the wild?
I honestly have no.
Why not?
Especially in like North Carolina.
Oh, that's where they at?
Yeah.
That's where the compound is? Is this public knowledge? We don't want to dox.
No, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
North Carolina, what a random place.
Also, how can you dox? This is the state of North Carolina.
I know, right? That's how I felt with you when I said, like, oh, you're next to a Maggiano's. I was like, oh, no. Like, someone's going to, like, look that up and find you're next to a mall. Oh, man. Well.
So there's been a little bit of a Eugenia Cooney update. And this actually, TMZ covered it, which I thought was interesting because I feel like they don't really cover, like, influencer stuff that often. But they did say that the police over there in Eugenia's hometown in Connecticut have been like flooded with calls from viewers and fans of hers asking for like a wellness check because people have obviously been concerned about her how thin she is. But the police officer there in Connecticut had said that they had looked into it before and that there's nothing wrong and that he's actually like known Eugenia for like 10 years and that she's perfectly fine and that he did say that she does eat. I think he said that she loves like chicken sandwiches or something, which is like so random. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting that TMZ covered it, and B, that, I mean, you have someone in law enforcement who actually like did look into it, and
but that's also known her for a long time.
True.
Is it
yeah,
like
there's
a friend
like a bias.
or something?
Yeah.
I'm so torn on this. First of all,
same.
I really do feel for Eugenia. Like she's obviously like not healthy. Like, you know, I think this is one thing where you can look at someone and be like, they're not like okay. Like her skin is blue. Like, you know, her circulation's bad. Like there's something there, and I think you could. There's no argument there. It is weird when like anyone can call in a wellness check because it's like. One, she's alive, and I don't mean that facetiously or funny. Like, you know, she's alive, so she must be eating something. Like, if you don't eat at all, your body just dies, you know? So I think maybe she is, like, eating something. I don't know. But it is weird when you can tell wellness checks and just because you think someone is, like, not okay. And also, at the end of the day, I feel like her friends, like, I know Jacqueline Glenn and, like, people close to her have tried to do, like, interventions, and she just, like, doesn't go through with it. I think with Shane, I think in that one she might have gotten some help and stuff like that. But, I'm so torn with it because it's like one hand, like, you know, you shouldn't just take away someone's social media because they're not like, because they're sickly and they're harming themselves, but it's kind of like a self-harm thing. Like, I don't know, that she's just so thin. It's just not, it's obviously not healthy.
I just don't, it's one of those stories where it's like, I don't really know what to think or because there's no like concrete evidence of stuff. Like there's a lot of like theories and stuff. And obviously, like you said, there has to be some kind of health issue, but it's like, it's hard to speculate, and B, it's like you see her like being normal and like she's still active, like she's still posting,
doing her makeup and smiling and
and she's telling people she's fine. So it's like what exactly? I don't know. It's one of those things where you kind of just feel helpless, and then it's like, okay, well, people are trying to get like the authorities involved, and then it's like the authorities are saying that it's fine. Like you said, there's probably like some kind of weird bias in there.
But if they say she's fine, then you just go with that, you know?
Like, what else can you do? And the sergeant even said that they have, him and Eugenia have this like back and rapport where it's like, if she needs help, that she can like place a certain object in the back of her videos, and that he would see that, then he would know that she needs help. But it's also,
but like, she's not gonna know that she needs help. She thinks she's fine.
Yes.
But it is one of those things. Like, do you report someone that looks like they could be on drugs? Do you report someone like Nick Ocado who has like an oxygen mask while he's eating a bunch of food? Like, do you report all these things that look unhealthy on camera, or that people could be, you know? Because I think at the end of the day, you could say, like, this is unhealthy. She looks sick. She needs help. And then she could be like, I'm fine. Let me eat a bite of this sandwich in front of you and everything's okay. And I just know when people call wellness checks on me and I'm not okay, you can, like, fake it very easily, too. You could also, I'm also like, I'm fine. It's just the internet. Like, I troll, whatever, when I wasn't fine. You know what I mean? So, I think at the end of the day, if you're not, like, if you're not, like, her mom, I think is, like, someone that's close to her that should step in, or just her friends or something. Because I think at the end of the day, like, people on the internet just can't. And I go back and forth with that, too, because she does obviously show off her body to these people, but I don't know.
Because there's the issue of, like, freedom, right? You have the freedom to, because you always have to look at it the other way. Like, let's say, will anyone stop you from eating excessively?
Yeah.
And this is just the opposite of that. So it's like there's an issue of self-expression and freedom.
Yeah.
The only difference with her is like you actually see.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's triggering. That's like pictures of people from the Holocaust. Like, they were starving. To look like that, it's actually very triggering. But you can't intervene with somebody like that. They have the freedom to go to that extent. Yeah. And if their immediate family is not doing anything, we can't do anything.
Yeah, because it's not like she's committing a crime. Like,
do you think she has like fans, like people who are just like her?
I would think so, right? I feel like it can't be like, especially because she's had a career for like a long time. So I'm sure like a good portion of it is like people who are either like concerned or curious or whatever. But I do think there's probably people. She seems, I mean, as far as I know, like. And what I've seen her in, like, very, like, soft-spoken and, like, you know, sweet. Like, there's, like, a sweetness to her, as far as I can tell. so I imagine there has to be people who like her also for like her personality, like, you know, just for her, genuinely for her, you know.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, I know Social Repos, who was in my sad boy band. He was like friends with her for a while, and they would like hang out and stuff and like go do stuff together. So I think she has like this group of friends. But you have to wonder, like, these group of friends kind of like Jacqueline Glenn was so close to her and like spoke out and was so vocal about her not being okay, and now they're not friends. Like, you have to wonder if like these people like try to help her, and like, you know, at the end of the day, when someone can't help themselves, there's nothing you can do. Like, you could see someone just like dying to drugs, dying to anything, and it's like if they don't want to help themselves, then at that point you just give up on them. And I feel like she was she banned on TikTok? I thought she was, but she's back now.
It was like a
temporary.
I looked into it too because I saw that and people were saying that she was, but I don't know. I didn't see it myself, and I know like at least like if she was banned, it was very, very, very small window, like a couple hours max. And she was back, so I don't know if it was like a weird mistake or what it was, but regardless. I don't think she was banned, but if she was, it was very short. Yeah.
Yeah, she does a lot of lives, and she has energy, you know. So it's like I don't know, like clearly, like again, circulation, everything, the body weight, everything is a little not healthy. But if she has the energy and she's like still like living, like that's I don't know.
There are examples of people like in India that didn't eat for years, and they looked like her, like they meditated. Like there are examples of people that actually reach that state.
Yeah, and can just live.
Just live of the most minimal. And again, it's like, is it healthy? No, but it's a very interesting.
Yeah, it's like this
state
like
to get
lifestyle choice, and I think it may be triggering too. Is like when she shows off her body, and people are like, okay, this is like. And she knows obviously what she looks like. Because a lot of people that I've known, not a lot, I've known a few people that were anorexic. And, you know, a lot of times, and not to say anything is right or wrong, but it's like they would cover their bodies. You know, it's almost like they didn't want people to see how small they were. So she kind of shows it off or whatever, which is, again, maybe her brand. And like you said, maybe she's built an audience of people like you said, curious or looking at her that type of way. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, she's hanging out with Jeffree now. So I saw something like I think it was probably some like YouTube clickbait or something like that saying like, you know, he's saving her, or like they were eating together, or maybe he was eating with her or something like that.
Yeah, so Eugenia was with them at his ranch, and
she went out there.
Yeah, so she was staying. I don't know if she's still with him, but she was staying with him for a few days, and they were hanging out together. And yeah, I mean, he said that they were going out to lunch and stuff. So they were on live together doing makeup, and obviously they were like, there was a lot of comments about like Eugenia's body and stuff, and he was kind of like fielding them. And there was like a moment where like she left the room and he like was like kind of like a little bit emotional, kind of just saying like, you know, she's my dear friend, I care about her, and just asking people to stop with like all the comments about it too. So I mean, I don't know. It's just so like dicey. It's like, I don't know. At least like she's with people. She has friends.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like they would know if they saw something bad. Like if he saw that she was not eating or she was fainting, or like obviously he was going to step in and do something.
Yeah. But like, it's just like an innate, no matter who it is, like it's just like an innate, like he's known her for like they have a like long history. They've been friends for a long time. So I don't think he would let, you know. Yeah.
I think the whole like, speculation never helps anything, but I think at the same time she kind of knows what she feeds into, no pun intended, you know, like kind of like Nikocado. He's very much like, I gained all this weight, I'm so fat, look at my belly jiggle, and I think she kind of like feeds into the same sort of thing.
It's hard to like not to be ignorant to it because it's like it's so apparent, you know. And
I think that's just her brand, and it's going to be for a long time. That's just what people are tuning in for is that, and those are the comments you're going to get. And yeah, it's sad. And if you are friends with someone, like if Jeffree's friends with her and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, it's sad to see that, but kind of what it goes into. But she doesn't talk about it too much. I wish she would. I wish she would be, you know what would be like refreshing is like to say, yeah, I struggle with this. You know what I mean? I think so many poor people, everyone would flip, you know? Like everyone would be like, because you can get help, you can go to rehab facilities, you can do all this stuff. And it's like, it's still, like for me, like I always talk about this with like weight loss, like it still just doesn't click. And I feel like there's people who have like a lot more like empathy and compassion for that, where it's just like, it is like a mental disorder. Like it's something that it's hard to overcome. And a lot of people don't overcome it. And I feel like if she talked about that, it would be so much more, because she's a lifestyle person. She talks about her life and stuff like that. Like that's so relatable. That's so something people can get behind. And then it doesn't become this like speculation and, oh, is she gonna die and that kind of stuff. It's like, oh no, this girl like is struggling and needs support. And I think that would be like such a better thing for her mental health, for people watching her, and just talking about the realness of it, because she's obviously struggling with something, and sometimes talking about it, especially with people online, can be sympathetic. They can be really empathetic when you're like real and honest. And yeah, I think ultimately, like in this situation, people probably do want her to get better. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, I think they're like I was saying with me, oh, your health, you could die or whatever. But I think most people want her to like get better and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe we can bring her on the podcast. I would just be, it'd be hard because it's like you want to ask, and I feel like she just avoids those kind of things.
Yeah.
But maybe someone like Dr. Drew or someone could help her better than I could.
I know, but it's so hard because like I feel like if she ever comes to that point, she would have to like seek that out herself. I don't know.
Totally.
It is like so difficult. It's so difficult. I don't know. I mean,
to like admit you have a problem to yourself and then publicly, and
yeah,
you know, it's just because she also just can't. I don't know.
And it's been so long, so it's like I don't know. I'm kind of just like I kind of just stay out of it because I'm like it's been a long time, and it's like
it's been
you
so
can't
long.
Force anyone to
help
do
themselves.
anything. Yeah.
Well, like you said, at least she's like traveling, so that means she has the energy. She's with friends. She's with people, other big influencers who obviously are going to watch her and not be like, if something's wrong, not say anything. So
yeah.
Oh man, Eugenia, she never really pops up on my stuff, so I don't really like see her. But when I do, I'm just like, whew, you know, I think that's most people's reactions. And
yeah. Hopefully
it gets better because eating disorders, they suck, man. They suck. And a lot of people don't know they have them. They don't want to admit they have them. They don't realize they have them. And it sucks, the whole thing. If you have any problems with eating, it's the worst. Because like everyone else, it's very normal. You just eat. You eat when you're hungry. It's normal. And then there's certain people, and I relate on some level, but you know, just like that can't control it or don't know or, you know. Anyways, all right, you guys, happy Halloween. Go eat all the candy today, but check your candy. No, don't eat the candy. Go buy the candy and replace it. We're going trick-or-treating with our daughter, and I was like, oh, we're going to eat all the candy, but then I'm like, fentanyl. So be careful with that candy. Yeah, be careful with the candy. I think razor blades were a thing when we were kids, like the razor blades in there. Careful with all that stuff. Have a very safe and happy Halloween. We will see you next time on Just Trish. And remember, it's not that serious. It's just Trish. Bye.